All right, y'all. We give praise, esteem, and honor to Abba and Shamaim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Let's pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, and you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that come from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There's one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote it. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? All esteem and praise to Abba and Shamaim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Shalom, 10K. Shalom, Brother Omar. Shalom, Brother Marvin, man. Let's get it. 1 John chapter 5, verse 1.
Whosoever believe that Yahushua the HaMashiach is born of Elohim, and everyone that love him that begat, love him also that is begotten of him. By this we know that we love the children of Elohim, when we love Elohim and keep his commandments. For this is the love of Elohim, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Whatsoever is born of
Shalom,
Elohim,
Brother Craig. Amen.
overcome the world, and this is the victory that overcome the world, our faith. Who is he that overcome the world but he that believed that Yahushua is the son of Elohim? This is he that came by water and blood, Yahushua HaMashiach, not by water only, but by water and blood. This is the Ruach that bear witness, because the Ruach it is true. For there are three that bear record in Shamayim.
That's right.
The Abba, the Word, and the Ruach HaKadosh, and these three are
Shalom,
one.
Brother Robert.
And there are three that bear witness in earth, the Ruach, the water, and the blood, and these three agree in one. If we receive the witness of men, the witness of Elohim is greater.
That's right.
For this is the witness of Elohim, which he hath testified of the Son. He that believe on the Son of Elohim have the witness in himself.
Had a witness in itself.
He that believed not Elohim have made him a liar, because he had believed not the record that Elohim gave of his Son.
That's right.
And this is the record that Elohim gave of his Son, and this is the record that Elohim has given to us, eternal life. And this life is in his Son.
He that life is in his who?
In his Son.
In his who?
In his Son. He that have the Son have life.
Get up here.
He that have not the Son of Elohim have not life. These things have I written unto you, that you believe on the name of the Son of Elohim, that you may know that you have eternal life, that you may believe on the name of the Son of Elohim. This is the confidence that we have in him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. And if we know that he hears us, whatsoever we ask, we know that we have the petitions that we desired of him. If any man see his brother sin a sin not unto death, he shall ask, and he shall give him life for them that sin not unto death. There is a sin unto death. I do not say that he shall pray for it. All unrighteousness is sin. There is a sin not unto death. We know that whosoever is born of Elohim sin not.
That's
but
right.
He that is begotten of Elohim keep himself, and that wicked one touch him not. We know that we are of Elohim, and the whole world lie in wickedness. And we know that the Son of Elohim is come and have given us an understanding,
that we may
know him that is true,
and that we are
in him that is true, and his Son Yahushua HaMashiach. This is the true Elohim and eternal life.
Yes, sir.
Little children, keep yourselves from idols.
Keep yourselves from idols. Hold on. Come over here, Corinthians, man. That's something I want to need funny. Come over here to 1 Corinthians chapter 8 and verse 1. I said you cannot get up here. Shalom, Brother Marcus.
Now, as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we have all knowledge. Knowledge puff up.
Knowledge do what?
Puff up.
But love do what?
Edify.
So love build. Let's continue.
And if any man think that he know anything, he know nothing yet, as he ought to know. But if any man love Elohim, the same is known.
Shalom, Eric, man.
As concerning, therefore, the eating of those things that are offered in sacrifice.
As concerning the eating of those things, what?
Offered in sacrifice.
We know that the idol is what?
Nothing in the world.
Pause. Tell them what nothing is, man. I know you know what it is. That's not the point. Shalom, Mama Steph. You're welcome.
That's
you're
nice. No one, nothing, nobody.
It's nothing. An idol is stop. Sit down. An idol is what? It is nothing. Shalom, Quran, man. Yahuwah Baruch, my G. Go ahead.
And that none other Elohim but one.
There's no other Elohim but what?
But one.
Pause and give me John 17 and 3, man. We just heard it in 1 John 5, but I want to hear it again.
And this is life eternal, that they might know you, the only true Elohim, and Yahushua HaMashiach, whom you have sent.
Go back to verse 1 on general principle.
These words spake Yahushua and lifted up his eyes to Shamayim and said, Abba, the hour is come, esteem your son, that your son also may esteem you.
See it again. And I know we referenced this talking about Pharaoh and Joseph, but a lot of people just don't understand that by saying Yahushua is God or pointing to any of these things, that is not taking anything away from the Father. It is the Father's desire for him to be esteemed in this process, and doing so, it esteems the Father. It seems like individuals are more concerned about taking an esteem away from somebody who's not concerned about it. I want you to come to Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 4. See, earlier today, there was a knockdown drag out between two ladies, one who's a believer of Mashiach and one who is not. It didn't really have to go in that direction, but it did. What did it do, Tavon, man? So, but that's not why I mentioned that. I mentioned it because they got into a battle, a verbing sparring match came out, and I heard a ranking session that I haven't heard since I was a teenager. Because I definitely used to use melodies from songs that were crack jokes on niggas, and she did the same. And I'd have to say it was the most hilarious thing that I've heard in a very long time. But nevertheless, I mention that because it's some people who don't believe in people who believe in Mashiach seem to be overly offended by those who don't. You know what I'm saying? And I mention that also because a lot of them think that it's taking something away from the Father. Jay was there. Jay heard it. That junk was fun. But I want you to hear something what he finna say in Isaiah 42. It's really verse 8 that we desire, but we're going to pick it up at verse 4.
He shall not fail nor be discouraged.
We'll make it one. He ain't going to hurt nobody.
Behold my servant,
Shalom, Jay.
whom I uphold, my elect.
Behold my who?
My servant, whom I uphold.
Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. One of the key things that people who don't believe in the Lord will like to say is, show me where it says Yahushua, Jesus, Yahushua, whatever name you want to use in the Old Testament. See, you can't fall for that type of logic. Because who cares if his name is mentioned or not? He never said he was going to mention him by name. You weren't supposed to be looking for name. You were supposed to be looking for actions. You were supposed to be looking for deeds. You know what I'm saying? Nah. See, some people not going to accept that. You know what I'm talking about? They're gonna want a book, chapter, and verse that say this is what this man's name is. Because they can say Yahushua is just, Son of Noon is just that. But you don't even want to go down that road. Let me tell you something, man. Y'all have to know when somebody's asking you a tempting question, trying to test you, and not to fall in that in haste to try to prove to them that Yahushua is the anointed one. You know what I'm saying? See, they're not going to go for that, Quran, because you talking about something else. They want something that say this is his name. See, you going down a different track, you'll get enraptured into their folly. You can't even go that far to say he represent this or represent that. That ain't even the point. You're not even supposed to answer that question. You ain't even supposed to entertain that question. Because we could go in several prophecies about numerous things where he don't call nobody by name. You know what I'm saying? You were supposed to be looking for the deeds. That's the track you take when they ask you that type of question. You're supposed to be looking for actions, not a name being mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Because what if 5 different people came with that name? You know what I'm talking about? If 5 different people came with that name, guess what? You supposed to have been looking for the action, and you could have got by the folk that had that name but didn't have the deeds. Shalom me. You understand what I'm saying? It's a debate tactic. It's a draw you in tactic. Matter of fact, this is the proper term. It's a red herring. You know what a red herring is?
I've heard the term before.
Who in here know what a red herring is? You know what a red herring is? Yes, misdirection, Stanley. Misdirection. You know what I'm saying? A red herring ain't nothing but a bait and switch. Make you look left when I'm really doing something to the right. Can't fall for that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the game that they're trying to pull. Because see, because once they do that, they're going to ask you a cycle of questions, and then you're going to keep trying to grab the tail and never catch up. That's right. Mama Steph said an exact word fallacy with the red herring. Because then they're going to want you to find a verse that exactly says this when they know it's not there. So you can't fall for that. You know what I'm saying? You can't fall for that. Because when you look at the people in the New Testament, when they knew a Messiah was coming, guess what they were looking for? Deeds. They were looking for deeds, the actions. That's what they were looking for. They wasn't looking for a name. They didn't know a name. They didn't care. They cared about this person going to fulfill what is written, the literal actions. That's what you're supposed to be paying attention to.
Yeah, one of the disciples just said we found out who Moses spoke of.
Who's Moses? That's you can't get caught up in that. Can't get caught up in that. I mentioned that because I was trying to tell the sister, like, why do you care? If they come for us, I'm coming for them. Like, for what? For what? I don't even see the point of you frustrating yourself because you feel like they coming for you. Well, let them do it then. Let them do it then. It doesn't even matter because all you're going to do is be fighting to try to prove something to somebody who's already determined that they don't believe it, and it's because Yahuwah is giving them that mind to not believe it. See, we were talking about it on Wednesday. You see how that works? Now go on and give him 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, man, and pick it up at verse 12.
But we were gentle among you, even as a nurse cherished her children. So being affectionately desirous of you, we were willing to have imparted unto you, not the gospel of Elohim only, but also our own souls, because you were dear unto us. For you
Make it 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7. That would sound like what I want.
For the mystery of iniquity,
there we go.
Do already work.
The mystery of what?
Of iniquity.
Already work.
Only he who now will let until he be taken out of the way.
Until he gone.
And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the rock of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Whose coming is after the working of Hashatan.
His coming is after the working of who?
Hashatan.
The adversary.
With all power and signs and lying wonders.
All powers of what?
And signs.
And what?
Lying wonders.
So again, who assigns shalom, each man? Who assigns for? Unbelievers. So when he come with these signs, he gonna get you niggas. Because that's why he coming with them. Because he already know that the mass amount of people don't believe the word anyway. Even he coming with signs to get unbelievers. But not unbelievers in Yahuwah, but unbelievers of the devil. You know why? Because you already know why. Deuteronomy 13 tell you why. You ain't got to get it. I don't care if this man come working this, that, there, and the third. I did that to prove what was in your heart. Well, what type of God would do that? You nigga just be mad that this man put you in a position to show what direction you really want to go in. That's what you're upset about. Come on.
And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness and them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause Elohim shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. That they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness.
Have pleasure in what?
Unrighteousness. That we are bound to give thanks always to Elohim.
Shalom, Brother Ernest. What do y'all think this means to have pleasure in unrighteousness? You think that's Deuteronomy 6 and 25? Or you think that's Genesis 15 and 6? Which one you think it is? Don't nobody think it's nothing, sir. Which one y'all think it is, the unrighteousness they have pleasure in? Or is it both? The reality of the situation is, it's both. They don't believe and they want to do what they want to do. Continue. Jamal.
He said, well, we are bound to give thanks always to Elohim for you, brethren, beloved of the Lord, because Elohim had from the beginning chosen you to salvation through sanctification of the Ruach and belief of the truth.
And belief in the truth.
Whereunto he called you by our gospel to the obtaining of the esteem of our Lord, Yahushua HaMashiach. Therefore, brethren, stand fast and hold the traditions which you have been taught.
Hold the what?
Traditions which you have been taught.
That's right.
Whether by word or our epistle.
Tell them what traditions mean, man. Because some people believe that Paul didn't teach these people no law.
Paradosis, giving up, giving over, the act of giving up, giving over which is done by word of mouth or in writing, tradition by instruction, narrative, precept. Objectively, that which is delivered the substance of a teaching, of the body of precepts. The body of precepts. Where else you going to find the precepts at? So that means he taught them the law. He told them, hey, you received our gospel. You received the good news. Now keep these precepts like we gave them to you and you'll be good to go. See how easy that is? Nothing too difficult. Nothing that will obstruct anything. Very simple, very easily to be executed, practical and pragmatic. Let's come back to 1 Corinthians chapter 8. Come on, give me 8 and 1 again. So now, in touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puff up, but love edify.
Mm-hmm.
And if any man think that he know anything, he know nothing yet, as he ought to know.
As he ought to know.
But if any man love Elohim, the same is known of him.
Mm.
As concerning, therefore, the eating of those things that are offered in sacrifice unto idols, we know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that none other Elohim but one.
Pause. Now let's go back to Isaiah 42:1. That was just to make sure we didn't lose track on what we talking about.
Behold my servant, whom I uphold, my elect.
Pause. He said, behold my servant in whom I what?
Uphold.
See, they'll tell you that that servant is Israel. That's idiotically stupid. Go ahead.
In whom my soul delight. I have put my ruach
See,
upon
you can't
him.
sit back and say he delight in Israel because he cast Israel out. So you can't say that's talking about the house of Israel. He didn't take pleasure in them. How can he take pleasure in the people who gave him the back and not the front? Go ahead.
I put my ruach upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles.
Now tell him what judgment is, man.
Mishpat.
So when you're dealing with this one, say mishpat and not shaphat. This ain't talking about condemnation in this instance. For those of you who are not aware, there's two words for judgment, mishpat and shaphat. Mishpat is judgment, showing you what's right and what's wrong. But shaphat, that's dealing with condemnation. Literal judgment. So that means he finna come and bring the Gentiles the word. Tell him what Gentiles is, man. I can tell you. You ain't got to look it up. It's God. And what does that mean? That's any nation, tribe, people, person. Let's continue. Verse 2. Be quiet.
He shall not cry nor lift up, nor cause his voice to be heard in the street.
A bruised reed
Shall he not break, and the smoking flax shall he not quench.
he shall bring forth.
Judgment unto truth.
Go ahead and tell him judgment on the truth, man.
Mishpat Amon.
You got it. So he gonna bring forth mishpat to faithfulness, steadfastness, reliability, and fidelity. Let's continue. Thus saith. Oh, I'm sorry. Verse 4.
He shall not fail nor be discouraged.
Pause. He shall not what?
Fail.
Tell him what fail means.
That's kaha. To grow weak, to grow dim, to grow faint, to falter, to be weak, to be dim, to be darkened, to be.
So that means he ain't gonna fall out. Shalom, Amuna. When he said he ain't gonna fail, he ain't gonna get weak. And you seen what happened, what that Malachim came to do for him. My God, today. Verse 4, Isaiah 42.
He shall not fail nor be discouraged till he have set judgment in the earth, and the isles shall wait for his law.
The owl's gonna wait for his what?
For his law.
For his who?
For his law.
Give me Acts chapter 9. Give me verse 14. Now he just told you, if you don't know who the owls is, all you need to go do, matter of fact, pause. Go to Genesis chapter 10 and verse 1 for those who don't know. Why are you talking? You ain't got nothing to talk about. You only know 35 words. Genesis 10 and 1.
Now these are generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Shem, Ham, and who?
Japheth.
Okay.
And unto them were the sons born after the flood.
The sons were born after the wind?
After the flood.
Okay, let's keep it compact. Come on.
The sons of Japheth, Gomer.
Oh, that's what we
Magog.
did. The sons of who?
Sons of Japheth.
Sons of who?
Japheth.
Okay.
Gomer and Magog and Madai and Javan and Tubal and Meshach and Taras. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah. And the sons of Javan, Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their
The
lands.
isles of the who?
Of the Gentiles.
My God, today.
Divided in their lands.
Tell them what isle mean, man. Well, so when you see isle of the Gentiles, this talking about Japhet children. You can't turn around and make this be no Israelites who don't remember their nationality. That's foolishness.
Isles is a coast, an island, a shore, or a region.
That means that this man's offspring stayed on the coast. The coast of the nations is what it's selling, or the coast of the Goy. You can't turn around and say this is talking about Israelites when the law literally tell you the isle of the Gentiles is Yephet's offspring. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. Come on back to 42 and 4. He said the isle's going to wait on his law. So, Acts 9 and 15. That's what Acts 9 and 15. Listen to it.
But the Lord said unto him, Go your way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me.
He's a chosen what?
Vessel unto me.
And what he gonna do?
To bear my name before the Gentiles.
Before the who?
Before the Gentiles.
My God, today.
And kings and the children of Yasharal.
Now, if he said that the isles will wait on my law, and the isles are the sons of Japhet, now you can see why Paul is sent to these people. Because it's already said. It's already said. You have to understand something, right? How stupid the average nigga dealing with the word is. Why wouldn't Yahuwah give an opportunity to have mercy upon Noah's sons if he had mercy upon them to spare them in the flood to begin with? He already showed a pattern of mercy to Ham and Yafet. You think he's not going to do that on the back end with their offspring? You got to be backwards. You don't know this man's operation to do that. These men got spared because their daddy was righteous. He chose to continue their line through one of his sons. Because guess what? Yafet didn't get cursed. Let's take a look at it. Genesis what? 10 and 25? Or is it 9 and 25? You'll tell me in a second. 9 and 25.
And he said,
praise Yahuwah.
Cursed be Canaan, a servant of
servant. Back to 22. Make it 20. Genesis 9 and 20.
And Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard, and he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and he told his two brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid upon both their shoulders.
So understand something. If dudes wanted to go so hard, you would have to look at Ham. Ham was the one who was cursed, not Japheth. He wasn't cursed. Continue.
Laid it upon both their shoulders and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. And he said, Baruch Yahuwah Elohim of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant.
And the tents?
And Elohim shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem. And
Canaan, he said he will enlarge who?
Japheth.
He will enlarge who?
Japheth.
And he'll dwell where?
In the tents of Shem.
He just told you the Gentiles going to dwell in the name. That's what Noah prophesied. These niggas stupid. Read it again, man.
Say, Elohim shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tent of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant.
That's why Isaiah telling you that the isles going to wait on this law. The man then already said they're going to dwell in the house of Shem. That means they're going to dwell in the Son of God because he's from the house of Shem. We can clearly see that whether it's Matthew 1 or Luke 3. Simple. Go ahead. Finish the verse out.
And Noah lived after the flood.
No, 27.
Elohim shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant.
Why do you think he gave you the land of Canaan? Why do you think the Canaanites had to give up that land? He said, get what? And the Hamites going to serve Shem. And they're going to serve the Gentiles. But Yafet going to dwell in Shem. That's what the man said. Isaiah 42 and 4 one more time. That boy be taking him out there like he's a cold kid, like he at the prison house. Take you to the box.
He shall not fail nor be discouraged till he have set judgment in the earth, and the isles shall wait for his law.
Thus saith Elohim.
Yahuwah, he that created Shamahim and stretched them out, he that spread forth the earth,
that which
come out of it,
that give breath
unto the people upon it,
that give breath
to the people upon it,
and the Ruach
to them that walk therein.
Come on.
I, Yahuwah, have called you in righteousness,
and will hold
your hand,
and will keep you,
and give you for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles.
Now, how in the world can Israel be given for a covenant of themselves? He literally just said, I'm going to give you for a what?
Covenant of the people.
A covenant of the what?
Of the people.
Well, go ahead and tell me what covenant of the people is then.
Covenant is Berith, a covenant, an alliance, a pledge.
My God. Today.
It's a nation, a people.
So this is Hebrews 9 and 14. Bumal. Jamul.
How much more shall the blood of Mashiach, who through eternal Ruach offered himself without spot to Elohim, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living Elohim? For this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament.
He's the mediator of the what?
New Testament.
So that means, and a testament is of no effect as long as the what? testator live. And he just said that he would give this servant whom he delight as a covenant for the people. He would be the pledge. He would be the alliance. Continue.
And for this cause, he's the mediator of the New Testament, that by means of death.
By means of what?
Of death.
My God.
For the redemption of the transgressions under the first testament.
Uh-oh.
They which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance. For a testament, there must also of necessity be the death of the testator.
It must be necessity the death of the who?
Testator.
And what after that?
For a testament of force after men are dead, otherwise it is of no strength at all while the testator lives.
It was of no strength at all while the what?
Testator lives.
Why you think he told them men in John 16, it's expedient for you that I go away? Because if I don't go away, then the comforter can't come. That means the testament is not in effect. That's why I be tripping when he do talking about we don't know what covenant. If you don't know what covenant you in, you going to hell. Because that means you lack understanding. You going to hell, cuz. How the hell you serve a God you don't know what agreement you in? Are you in the agreement he established to redeem you? Or are you in the agreement that you broke? These niggas telling you they're in an agreement that they broke. That means God not with you, stupid. Lord have mercy. Come on.
Whereupon neither the first was dedicated without blood.
That's right.
For Moses has spoken every precept to all the people according to the law. He took the blood of calves and goats with water and scarlet wool and hyssop and sprinkled both the book and all the people.
All the people, baby.
Saying, this is the blood of the testament which Elohim have enjoined unto you. Moreover, he sprinkled with blood both the tabernacle and all the vessels of the ministry.
That's right.
And almost all things are by the law purged with blood, and without shedding of blood is no remission.
There's no remission of sins. None. None. Why you think Adam couldn't get death on him? Where was the blood shed at? For that to be remitted. That's one of the aspects he said, if they take from this tree, they got to live forever. But guess what's going to, somebody got to spill some blood. Who blood gonna get spilled? My Lord. Come on back to Isaiah 42 and read me verse 7. Isaiah 42 and 7.
To open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the prison, and them that sit in darkness out of the prison house. I, Yahuwah, that is my name. My esteem will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. Behold, the former things are come to pass.
Hold on, back it up to 7. Read it again.
To open the blind eyes.
To open the what?
Blind eyes.
What he told you in John chapter 9. Let's take a look in case you forgot. 9 and 39. He said to open the blind eyes.
Yahushua said, for judgment I am coming to this world, that they which see not might see, and they which see might be made blind. And of the Pharisees which were with him heard these words and said unto him, are we blind also? Yahushua said unto them, if you were blind, you should have no sin. But now you say we see, therefore your sin remains.
Now see, that's a different conversation. You know, we didn't talk about that with Adam, right? But I want to take it a step further. I read that for a reason, so you can see the juxtaposition between these two things. Acts chapter 26. And verse 16, because you should remember in Psalms 119, he said, open my eyes that I might behold wondrous things out of your law.
But rise and stand upon your feet, for I have appeared unto you for this purpose.
For this purpose.
To make you a minister and a witness, both of these things which you have seen, and of those things in which I will appear unto you. Delivering you from the people and the Gentiles, unto whom now I send you. To open their eyes.
To open their what?
To open their eyes.
To do what to their eyes?
Open their eyes.
And what else?
To turn from darkness to light.
And what else?
The power of Hashatan unto Elohim.
And what else?
That they may receive forgiveness of sins and inheritance among them which are sanctified by faith that is in me.
What that is? Psalms 119. Give me verse 8.
I will keep your statutes, O forsake me not utterly. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed according to your words. With my whole heart have I sought you. O let me not wander from your commandments.
Come on.
Your word have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin against you.
Your words, you hid it where?
In my heart.
You hid it where?
In my heart.
Where?
In my heart.
That you might not what?
Sin against you.
My God.
Root are you, O Yahuwah, teach me your statutes. With my lips have I declared all the judgments of your mouth.
You know, a lot of people just gloss over that fact. This man said, I have hid your law in my heart, your word in my heart, that I might not sin against you. A lot of people always sinning against a man because his word is not hidden in their inward man. And that's their problem. That's their problem. I just been tell you, Mama, that somebody just popped in the room looking for you too. I know that's why they came in there, because they done left now. They came in there just for a moment. And they don't never come in here neither. So I know that's what they just did. Go ahead.
So with my lips have I declared all the judgments of your mouth. I have rejoiced in the way of your testimonies as in all riches. I'll meditate in your precepts and have respect unto your ways. I'll delight myself in your statutes. I will not forget your word. Deal bountifully with your servant, that I may live and keep your word. Open you my eyes, that I may behold wondrous things out of your law.
Open you my eyes, that I might do what?
Behold wondrous things out of your law.
What is those wondrous things? Go on and tell them. It should be Pala, but it could be something else.
Pala, to be marvelous, to be wonderful, to be surpassing, extraordinary, separate by distinguishing action.
Separate by distinguishing action. That's sad. Separate by distinguishing action. And that's what I meant before, that they were looking for Mashiach as it pertains to his actions. The Pala, or the wondrous deeds, or again, deeds that are sanctified by actions. Come on back to Isaiah 42:7.
To open the blind eyes, to bring out of the prisoners from the prison, and them that sit in darkness out of the prison house.
Bringing those who are prisoners out of from the prison?
And them that sit in darkness
out of the prison house. Them that from the prison house? What prison house? I said Luke 4:14. Well, who in here making all that noise? That's you, boy? Acting like something wrong with you.
Yahushua returned in the power of the Ruach into Galilee, and there went out a fame of him throughout all the region.
See, a lot of brews only want to read Luke 4:14 to prove he kept the Sabbath. That's how simple their minds is. Come on.
And he taught in their synagogues before being esteemed of all. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Shabbat day and stood up for to read.
Listen.
And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written.
What it say?
The Ruach of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives.
To preach deliverance to the who?
To the captives. And recovering of sight to the blind.
Recovering the sight to the who?
To the blind. To set at liberty them that are bruised.
You see how all this? Now, this is prisoner, by the way, from Isaiah 42:7. Remember, we did a long time talking about this some years back. Asere, Aleph, Samak, Rosh. This is a prisoner or a captive. He said he came to do what for the prisoners? To bring him out of the prison house. What is the prison house? Well, the prison, I should say. That is masgare, a shutting up, a locksmith, a dungeon, an enclosure, a builder of bulwarks. Go to John 8:33. This is the prison he's trying to free you from.
They answered him, we be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man. How say you shall be made free?
What he said?
Truly, truly, I say unto you,
he that commits sin
is the servant of sin.
And the servant
abide not in the house forever. The son abides forever.
Go ahead.
The son therefore shall make you free. You shall be free indeed.
You shall be free indeed.
I know that you are Abraham's seed,
but you seek to kill me,
because my word have no place in it.
This man's word ain't got a place in a lot of people. Even some people who propagate his name. But he said, if you commit sin, you captive to sin. He came to set you free from that. If he set you free, the prisoners from the prison, he trying to set the sinners free from death. Because if you in an enclosure in a bulwark, that enclosure and bulwark is the grave. You might be alive, but you a dead man walking. Because what he told you, let the dead do what? Bury the dead. Them people was alive though. My Lord. My Lord. When you look at prison also in this verse, when you know house is bought. So we ain't got, y'all already know that. But that prison house is kalei, and that's imprisonment, confinement, or restraint. That's why that junk offended me when Buddy was like, they had to do more than preach the word. Man, them men's sufferings couldn't free you from no prison house. The word got to free you. I've been telling y'all this for the longest. I said it last night. I'm going to say it again. But the word is not enough for the majority of these people. It's not enough. They don't want it. You know what I'm saying? That's not what they want. They want everything else other than that. Because the simplicity of the hope, the peace, the joy, the strength, and the love that the word of the living Elohim, Yahuwah of hosts provide, it is not what these people want. It's not. They want everything else but that. You know why? Because they would have to hide this man's word in their heart so they wouldn't sin against him. They would have to take pleasure in righteousness and loving kindness and judgment. They would actually have to be merciful and gracious and abundant in goodness and truth, merciful and long-suffering and forgiving. They would literally have to be that. They would have to have care and consideration and compassion. They would literally have to be a servant. They don't want to be that. They'd rather just be a walking precept pack, a walking theologian, a walking scholar. You'll see a lot of brews, they'll put lawkeeper in their bio. You don't want to be no lawkeeper. Because that don't mean you got God because you a lawkeeper. Your forefathers were lawkeepers and they dead. Notice I said they. I ain't talking about, you know what we ended with last night. Read it again for him. You remember? He don't remember. No, because he be smoking marijuana with Doris. You smoke the marijuana, Doris? Because you asked for some cocaine yesterday. What? Oh, I did. You know what you asked for. Oh. And you went and bought some, huh? You went and bought you an 8-ball. You're going to be coming out hard in a minute. Eyeballs like this here. You ever been around cocaine? Who you hanging with is using cocaine? Obviously that, man. I'm not talking about all that. I'm not saying it like you had cocaine friends. You don't look like the type who have cocaine friends. You look like the type that have friends that just drink and pop mouth and be sweating. I ain't mad at you. Nigga offered me some coke. I'm gonna beat him up. Everybody I knew used cocaine. Oh, I'm not surprised. I just told you almost all my friends use cocaine of some sort. There came a point where me and Fat Boy were the only ones out of everybody we knew who didn't smoke boots. Like everybody did. You don't know what that is, do you? Look at her. She's swift. She got some street knowledge. Who you been hanging with? Yeah, that's what it's called. Y'all might call it something different. See, I know up there, y'all niggas like to smoke weed and crack. What you mean? Nigga, Raekwon was on the song in 1993 talking about he loved cracks and weed. The combination made his eyes bleed. Oh, you did. You just didn't know it. You definitely did. You just didn't know it. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't saying that to be funny, because they call them woos. They call them juice blunts down here. The niggas say they smoking woos. No. Them niggas was smoking crack. No, them niggas was smoking crack. You know what I'm saying? We knew niggas from up there, and they were confirming that niggas put crack in their weed, and they were smoking crack in their weed. I'm like, why crack? Just bump cocaine, huh? Just go straight to crack. But also, y'all sell your crack differently up there. You sell it in vials and it be little pieces. Niggas selling slabs around here, man. Y'all can smoke crack and maintain. You smoke crack down here, you're through. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you're through. Hey, shalom, Mr. Hutt. Yeah, that's a different type of living. But yeah, everybody, man, I told you, man, them niggas smoking rats and snorting coke and All type of dump, man. Chicks used to talk about, putting cocaine on a man's privy member and snorting it off. I'm like, y'all, we too young for this. How does this happen? I told you the other day, man, niggas become druggies, man. They jump off the top rope. That's why I said they say weed the gateway drug. I never believed that. It's alcohol. Alcohol is the gateway. Because that's where you start at. You might start with marijuana, but you really start with alcohol. You go on somewhere, you're stealing your mama beers, or you're stealing little miniatures of alcohol. Like my homeboy used to take miniatures of alcohol from his people's house and come to school and pass them out. He a drunk to this day. You know how long ago that was? 1997. He's still a drunk. This nigga been a drunk for what is it? For 27 years. Now Muna mentioned Kodak. I don't know what type of drugs Kodak on. He ain't on no crack. Yeah. He on prescription pills. That boy on something. They don't smoke crack no more. Crack dead. These boys like white people drugs. These boys like fentanyl and Percocets and stuff like that. But it all started with alcohol. Somebody get you some Hennessy. Next thing you know, you're selling your booty for a $40. That's how it happens. That's why you tell the kid, don't tell them to just say no to drugs. Say no to alcohol. Because you won't be around it. If you don't use alcohol, you ain't going to end up around niggas who want drugs. Look how you say, I like the pregame. See, that's how they get you. You pregame on the alcohol, you go hang out, niggas got drugs. Because I'm dead serious, ain't being funny. Your inhibitions are already lowered because you're drunk. So the inclination to try this, which you normally probably wouldn't do if you were sober, is there because your inhibitions are lower because you're intoxicated. That's why I say marijuana is not the gateway, it's alcohol. Because marijuana don't lower your inhibitions. You don't smoke a blunt and be like, you know what, let's try crack today. That doesn't happen. But when you on that alcohol and you drunk and everybody's having a good time and you having a good time and somebody say, here, try this. You might try it without even thinking. And then you get hooked. I done seen that happen. Shalom, brother Shaw. I done seen that happen. The alcohol will get you every time. I ain't never heard nobody get on no drugs to get that high where they had sex with somebody who they wouldn't have had sex with if they weren't high. I've seen numerous people have sex with people who they wouldn't have had sex with when they were intoxicated. And when they got back sober, they were angry with themselves. Some people, they wanted to have sex with them. I'm like, no, I don't know about that. Alcohol will have you do things that you normally would not do. Because it literally removes all any type of discipline, self-restraint that you would have, is gone when you drunk. It's just gone. You know what I'm saying? He said, I used to go in a pub and after 2 beers, I was ordering a bag of cocaine. Tell him. That's just my personal opinion or observation. That's what alcohol. I gotta tell you before, why you think when y'all was young and y'all used to be messing with them little nappy head boys and they always trying to offer you a drink? Because that's what you were told to do. Get her drunk, cuz she'll give it up. Because you might have not came over there with the intentions on doing nothing. You get on the alcohol, you're feeling loose, you're feeling good. I said I wouldn't. I ain't gonna hurt nothing. Then you wake up with shame. A wet behind and shame. Yeah. Mika say praise Yahuwah. She never got that intoxicated. I'm gonna say, isn't that a truth? Say on that alcohol was a gateway for me per se. Even if I purpose to not have the coke after 2 beers, I loosed up and I got the coke. I'm telling you, because it frees you. I don't know what it is about it, but it definitely. I don't know what it is about alcohol as far as like in the chemical workings of the human brain. Yeah. It does.
Alcohol just kind of like intensify I feel like
oh, you mean about magnify? No, I don't.
Right, because my thing is that I've been around people that, while they were intoxicated, and they might get really angry every time they're intoxicated, or you're around somebody that's just like to have fun, and that just intensify like that.
Some people are angry drunks.
Right, but it's like every time they drink, they just always spaz out. They're just always angry.
Are they angry like that when they sober?
I don't know. I just know that it's like when you're around a certain type of person, it's like don't give that person alcohol, or just stay away from them when they're on alcohol. I never got when I drunk alcohol. I just never been an angry person.
Well, I mean, no, I don't think it intensifies who you already are. It lowers your inhibitions. It also gives people courage that they necessarily wouldn't have if they were sober. That's why they call it liquid courage. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think alcohol magnifies who you really are, because I've seen people get on alcohol and they're a totally different person than who they are when they're sober. You know what I'm saying? Like, alcohol literally can do something to the mind. This is one of the reasons why he tell you not to be a drunk. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Mika said, Mama Steph said, hello, Mika. It's definitely, nah. I don't think there's a drug on earth that magnifies who you really are.
Maybe like when you're sober, the stuff that you're not dealing with, you know, maybe when.
Well, some people drink alcohol to forget what they're dealing with. See what I'm saying? So they're really trying to drink their troubles away, so they don't have to think about it. But like, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm reiterating that fact that it literally lowers your inhibitions. Some people drink alcohol to be free, because they're buttoned up. So if they weren't drunk, it's certain things that they wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? So they do it so they can quote unquote have fun and be loose. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily like being loose sexually, but to relax. Like, you have some people, they're not loud, they're not boisterous, get on alcohol, they want to fight everybody. Dude's a straight coward. Ain't gonna do nothing to nobody. Get on alcohol, he toughest nigga in the world. You got some women get on alcohol, want to have sex with everybody they see. She's not like that when she's sober. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's always an individual thing, but I do know from scientific research, they say it lowers your inhibitions, which is why people try to encourage you to drink, to take advantage of you. Because you're not going to be in your right mind. You can smoke marijuana. It's just going to slow down your central nervous system. It's not going to affect your cognitive ability to think. You know what I'm saying? Now, cocaine speeds up your central nervous system. And it does have the ability to affect how you think, because it's going to cause you to be extremely paranoid. You know what I'm saying? Now, alcohol affects your cognitive ability, which is why they tell you not to drink and drive. You know what I'm saying? Ron said, I can drink a little alcohol now, and I no longer desire to drink or smoke anymore. Praise Yahuwah. I just have to be careful not to get too loose and drink too much, but it doesn't cause me to sin now. And then Mama Steph is accurate on that. Some people drink for certain illnesses, which, of course, Paul said, drink a little wine for your infirmity's sake. You know what I'm saying? But it just all depends. You have to know yourself for one. You know what I'm saying? I never drank, so that's not a big deal for me. I don't care to, don't need to, don't desire to, don't want to. You know what I'm talking about? But then because for me, it was like, why would I want to partake in something that would cause me to lose control of my faculties? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to use something and be like, now I don't have control of my faculties. I don't want that. I don't see that as a good time. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that as a good time or something that could make me throw up, have my head hurting, feeling terrible the next day, feeling dizzy and all this extra stuff. Where's the enjoyment in that? I'm telling you this. I'm telling you how I thought at 16, 17, 18. I'm like, the weed ain't never do me like that. I'm going to just stay over here with that. All I'm going to do with this here is going to want to lay down. You know what I'm saying? That's about it. Some people can drink and that junk don't do nothing to them. I told man, my homeboy used to get up in the morning, man, drink 3-4 bottles of wine before noon. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about glasses. I'm talking about bottles. You know what I'm saying? Hey. So you gotta be cognizant of yourself. You gotta be aware. Mika said hello and she love you. Yeah, bottles. Absolutely bottles. He said, I used to drink purposely to get smashed, but I couldn't enjoy a couple drinks here and there. Usually don't go any further than I plan to. Mika say, for me, weed caused her to act on certain impulses. I was already very impulsive. It was also very paranoia inducing. Today I have a little wine and it relaxes me, but I definitely not try to go overboard. May have a mixed drink every rare instance. You know, some of y'all like a strong drink. You know, you look like you like some whiskey. Or you like bourbon. On the rocks, you like it straight, huh? We'll put some hair on your chest. I understand. Yeah, you got to be aware of that because usually, I say, right, when you in an intoxicated state, when you in an impaired state, you are much easily influenced by the adversary to be tempted to go against the word, guaranteed. Because again, the inhibition's down. That's all he needs. He just looking for a room to catch you when you're weak and come with a little persuasion. You know what I mean? Now, anything other than that, nigga, you a crackhead. You know what I'm saying? What his name is, Judge Matt, you was a crackhead. Anything past alcohol and marijuana, you are a crackhead. You remember that man say, he talking about, my name's such and such and I'm on drugs. Marijuana's not a drug. I mean, I suck penis for coke. He said, you ever did that for coke? I don't know, because some of these girls was out here hunching for dime bags. So, there's that. He said, but the flesh always wants to go excess, honestly, with food, drink, or any kind of pleasure. You do have to be, like I said, you have to be focused and restrained, because your flesh won't more. If you want one glass of wine, your flesh won't 5. You know what I'm saying? You want a shot of Henny, your flesh won't 7. You know what I'm talking about? Now, I know some people talk about, can you smoke marijuana, this, that, and the third. I wouldn't advise you to smoke anything. But if you want to use marijuana for medicinal purposes, that's between you and your doctor. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not a physician. And I don't give out medical advice. You know what I'm talking about? But I wouldn't advise you to smoke nothing. You know why? Because if this whole house caught fire right now, God forbid, and smoke went in this house, nigga, we all going to be dead from smoke inhalation. So you mean to tell me you're going to purposely light up something and smoke it? And think the Lord got something to do with it? Go on, boy, you some marijuana tea, man, and drink it, man. Go on, find your herbalist and get the right stuff, man. You didn't want to smoke a doobie. You talking to somebody who smoked weed for 20 years. But best believe, if a nigga really wanted to smoke weed, you can manipulate the word well enough to convince a nigga that it's okay. All you got to ask yourself, is it sound doctrine? Which one of you will hand your son a doobie and say, smoke this with me, and he fine? Anything you do, you're supposed to be able to do it with your son. You know that, right? John 5:16. He said, when I first made police sergeant, the whole department, including the chief, made me drink Jägermeister because they know I really didn't drink. Oh, yeah, you know that's what the police do. It's celebration. You got to get drunk. But most police officers are drunk. White police officers anyway, depending on your jurisdiction. I'm not trying to be stereotypical. I'm just being honest. They like to drink, depending on where you at. That's what they do. That's how they wind down. And I can understand it's a high-stress job. You got a high-stress job, you know what I'm talking about? You usually drink. Yeah, that's what they do. Definitely depending on the jurisdiction. You know, further south, where you ain't got a lot of beer pubs and holes and all that type of stuff, they may not necessarily go. But when you in certain locales, man, especially say like a Miami, a New York, you know what I'm saying, a New Orleans, a LA, a Chicago, a Detroit. I don't know if they do it too much here in Jacksonville. Yeah, they want to get drunk. Then, like I said, that's that hazing. That's what they do. That's a man thing, man. I can't explain it. It don't make sense to me because I'd be like, man, I wouldn't give a damn what y'all talking about. I ain't drinking nothing. Oh, you got to do it. I ain't got to do nothing but stay black and die. I ain't drinking nothing. Jay say, I drunk once at my cousin's house at 19 and we got robbed and nobody knew a thing. Said, nah, this ain't for me. That's wild. Y'all were good drunk. Nigga get robbed, don't nobody know nothing. Y'all was on it. You hear me? Good God. Easily. I told man, my homeboy got high one day on some lower tabs. Boy's brother came in there. I said, man, bro in there sleep. I said, man, he done took them damn pills. He said, oh, he sleep? Boy's brother came right in there, did like this. Tapped them pockets, took all his dope, took all his money. I said, boy, you know you dead wrong, boy. And he left. When bro woke up, he said, where my stuff at? I said, shoot, Lil Johnny got you. Call it. Hey. Yeah, straight up. Shoot. Definitely. You know, I heard that my whole childhood right there. I ain't got to do nothing but stay black and die. not finna be doing this here, man. I don't want to drink. I ain't like it. That's how I know I got taken advantage. I think I only been drunk like twice in my life, man. I remember one time I think I was riding. I had dope on me too. I could tell that I was drunk while I was driving. I said, man, I just got to get to the house. Because even though I can feel like my body impaired, but my mind is still proper. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't overpowered my brain. I just knew that cognitively, well, you finna go to jail and get caught with this dope. Just get back to the house. Think I was on that rim. And them niggas used to give me drinks, man. I hold the cup the whole time. You ain't looking. I'm throw that whole out. Hell, I throw that whole out in your face because ain't nobody told you to bring it to me. This nigga don't want to get drunk. So don't. Be like that boy who was in that room earlier. Get drunk, you be around here waking up, nigga, braiding your hair. That's the song she was singing. That's what it was. She was clowning this nigga using the melody of Mario's Braid My Hair. Bro, it was hilarious. You say praying to get home. I remember those now. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That wasn't my thing. I drive all night high on marijuana though. Yeah, I ain't care. With no glasses on, I can't see nothing. Come on. Read me 42 and 7, Isaiah.
You want that, John?
Oh, yeah, John 5:16. Listen to this here.
Saying, therefore, did the Yahudim persecute Yahushua and sought to slay him because he had done these things on the Shabbat day. Yahushua answered them, my Abba worked hitherto, and I work. Therefore, the Yahudim sought the more to kill him because he not only had broken the Shabbat, but said also that Elohim was his Abba, making himself equal with Elohim. Mm-hmm. Then answered Yahushua and said unto them, truly, truly, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he see the Abba do.
He can do nothing of himself, but what he see the who?
The Abba do.
What he see is Abba do.
For what things soever he do, these also do the Son
likewise.
likewise.
So whatever the Father do, the Son do likewise. So if you as the Father doing it, your Son should be able to do it likewise. And if you doing it and your Son can't do it, then you ain't got no business doing it. Now see, the Son doing something I can't do. I can't do all that. My knees bad, son. I'm old. Mama say your brain sometimes revert back to patterns, which is why most impaired people can drive home and not know how they got there. As long as there's no obstacles the brain hasn't seen before. You know what? That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, he'll be back in the second month. That makes perfect sense. Come on with it, man. Back to Isaiah 42 and 7.
To open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the prison, and them that sit in darkness out of the prison house.
I,
Yahuwah,
that is my name,
and my esteem will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images.
See, he said he won't give his praise to great. See, they're talking about, see, that's why Yahushua can't be the one. He ain't giving his praise to another. But didn't Pharaoh give his praise to Joseph? Didn't he tell you to kiss the son lest he be angry? Read John 17:1 again.
These words spake Yahushua and lifted up his eyes to Shamayim and said, Abba, the hour is come. Esteem your son, that your son also may esteem you.
Esteem your son. Esteem your son.
That your son also may esteem you.
With what esteem?
As you have given him power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many as you have given him.
Mm-hmm.
And this is life eternal, that they might know you, the only true Elohim, and Yahushua HaMashiach, whom you have sent.
Come on.
I have esteemed you on the earth. I have finished the work which you gave me to do.
And what else he say?
And now, O Abba, esteem you me with your own self.
Esteem you me with your what?
Own self.
So if he's asking the Father to esteem him with his own self, then he's not taking his esteem away. It's the esteem that the Father wants him to have. And the esteem that I had with you.
Before the world was.
The esteem I had with you.
Before the world was.
Proverbs 8:20. Indeed, Quran.
I lead in the way of righteousness in the midst of the path of judgment, that I may cause those that love me to inherit substance, and I will fill their treasures.
Come on.
You who will possess me in the beginning of
you
his
who
way.
will possess me in the beginning of his way.
Before his works of old.
Before his works of what?
Of old.
Oh my God. Said they taught me in DWI detection and field sobriety. That makes sense. I didn't want to, if he possessed him in the beginning of his way, that means it was his desire to esteem him. Let's come back to 1 Corinthians 8:1 and read that again. Dookie John. Dookie Don. Dookie Don. Come on, read Colossians 1 and 12 to verse 20 that Quran got. Colossians 1 and 12.
Giving thanks unto the Abba, which have made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light, who have delivered us from the power of darkness and have translated into the kingdom of his dear Son, in whom we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins, who is the image of the invisible Elohim, the firstborn of every creature. For by him were all things created that are in Shamaim and that are on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions.
And you just heard that in Isaiah 42 also. Continue.
Or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him.
See, because you know, with some people, they're going to have a problem with us because we believe that Yahusha is Yahuwah. Not that he is the almighty Abba, but that he is the Elohim who they were interacting with from Genesis to Malachi. And then his Abba sent him forth. You know, I say this all the time. Y'all know it. A king sits on his throne and he has servants. A king don't get off his throne. It's the same that Will had up there yesterday when he was talking about, look at you. You overvaluing your queen on the chessboard. He said she ain't nothing but a pawn with some fancy moves. Because if we look at chess and you look at, well, who's the piece that ends the game? You can lose your queen and still win the game. You lose your king, the game is over. But what does this mean? That means all the people on the board work for who? The king. And the king never gets off his what? Off his throne. Because he has servants. So when you look at the son of the living Elohim, what is he? He is a servant to his father. Then on top of that, what we already know that the Kadash Abba is extremely Kadash. Eyes cannot look upon evil. Anything that he come across, he would consume. The son would have to be Yahuwah in order to interact with man on any level. Because if not, what is going to occur? All things will be consumed. See, there's individuals that if you believe that what Paul is, we read last night, right? Paul said that he was made an apostle and he received the revelation of Yahushua from who? Not from flesh and blood, but from God. So then you have to take into account, he's writing in these letters that this man created everything. John is bearing witness that this man created everything. If this man created anything, there's only one logical explanation that can left to be remained, that he is Yahuwah. That's it. Him being Yahuwah don't take nothing away from the Father. You know what people's problem is? You think you know somebody that you are not blessed enough to know. He's above your pay grade. He don't fool with you like that. See, it didn't bother me that he didn't fool with me like that once I understand his operation. Because if I was him, I wouldn't fool with me like that either. She was wild for that, Jay, and it was absolutely hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, mama said Golden Swords had side godmother, and she roasted him like a doggone Passover lamb in the ancient times, with no legs or head removed, roasted whole, and for about 45 minutes straight. He tried to have comebacks. Her jokes overflooded his. That man got thoroughly embarrassed, and he deserved it. He earned it, and he deserved it, and he got it, and now he can go about his life being a shamed individual. Yeah, she roasted him about the possibility of him being a sodomite and braiding another man's hair. Did you braid another man's hair for faith? You know, I seen some YouTube podcaster dude said it's feminine for you to have a male barber. Yeah, this is the same dude that said single mothers are for recreational use, and he married a white single mother of 3. Indeed. With a BBL. BBL Becky. Yeah, the dude, y'all seen that reel going around when the dude say he a top tier man because he's 6'4" and got some money? Matter of fact, where there's that? The nigga in the video who brother was finna beat him up. Remember that one I sent you? Yeah. Him. Yeah, man. He got it. He married to a single mother of 3. A BBL Becky. And they got I'll show y'all the video when we get done. It was totally embarrassing. Because they got a couples channel. Now clearly he didn't want nobody to know about. And they have a mixed baby. And then they had 2 Christmas outfits. One with a black Santa, one with a white Santa. And this pussy nigga is standing there with this woman talking about, let's see which one she picked. And then they put it in front of the baby, and the baby picked the black one. And this nigga say, there they go, that's my nigga. That's why that nigga brother was finna beat him up. His brother's supposed to beat him up. I want to beat this nigga up. And not even for his regular content. How you gonna put a black and white Santa in front of this baby? Why you got a woman who willing to do that? That woman should have been like, I'm not finna play this stupid game with my child. Lord have mercy. This is the world we live in, y'all. What we gonna do? Can't do nothing but praying. Pray and get you some Jägermeister. That was Sylvia like. You look like you like fire. What that is?
Fireball.
Fireball. You look like you used to drink Fireball with a Fireball.
That's crazy.
You used to have that Fireball can in your mouth drinking Fireball? You a real alcoholic. You was in them New York clubs standing on tables, wasn't you? Look at me. I ain't saying you were doing that pulling your teeth out. I bet you were. You know that whatever that movie was with Tyra Banks when they were dancing on the junk and pulling their titties out? Yeah, that's it. That's it. And that's exactly what Tyra Banks is. When you take that makeup off and take that wig off, boy, that's a harsh looking woman. It's easy to look beautiful when you got nice wigs and a good makeup artist. But can you look like that when that nigga take that wig off and all we see is your forehead? You know what I'm talking about? 6 strands of hair, and you around here looking like a doggone some old alien. Like she ain't no ugly woman, but she ain't as pretty as you think she is. Mika said she had a drink called Trash Can. It was Red Bull and something else. Yeah, she is a harsh looking woman. Come on. 1 Corinthians 8:1.
Let me finish that Colossians.
Oh, yeah, finish Colossians. What verse is it?
17.
1 and 17.
Saying, he is before all things, and by him all things consist. He is the head of the body, the assembly, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all he might have the preeminence. For it pleased the Abba that in him should all fullness dwell.
It pleased him that he should have preeminence, just like Adam had preeminence in everything.
And having made shalom through the blood of his faith, by him.
Because at the end of the day, did it take away any glory from the Father to give Adam authority and power over all flesh? Because that's literally what he did with Adam. Did Adam not have power over all flesh? Now, what are we talking about? That boy say Crown Royal neat if I have a drink. Look at this nigga here talking about some Tequila Sunrise. Tequila Sunrise. You watching the sunrise. Only thing I had with some Crown Royal was the bag. If you see me with a Crown Royal bag, you already knew what was in it. Drugs. I remember I went to catch a serve at the In-Town Suites on St. John Bluff. That white dude looked down. He said, I know what you got in there. We just some good old dope smoking boys from Georgia. Went and popped them off, too. Made some good money with them, boy. What the hell? Them boys bought them a yard. Boys were smoking. That boy said they was some good old dope smoking boys from Georgia. They wasn't playing. Mika say she like Crown Apple and Sprite. My God, today. Say with Sprite, it tastes like apple juice. Not Tequila Sunrise. Y'all niggas alcoholics.
All the alcohol is coming out today.
All the drunks is coming out today. And it seemed to be nothing but the ladies. What was y'all out here doing with your life? Not me. I wasn't drinking. What you were doing? Popping mollies and sweating? Like that stopped any of you niggas. How many of y'all drunk under 8?
Not the drink I'm talking about.
Exactly. Callie, you was out here drinking? Callie said, I ain't partaking in them activities. Huh? See? So I don't want that junk. Y'all niggas around here drinking beer, burping, smelling like bread. Mama Steph say y'all got her feeling like a newbie. She ain't never heard of none of these drinks. Look at Ernie, he talking about tequila with Tabasco and lime and a lemon shot. Y'all niggas is drunk. I'm just messing with y'all. I'm just messing with y'all. Don't pay me no money. Say I'm getting me a glass of red straight after this gathering. He say it's good late here. He say he need a little nightcap. That man in the UK. That man about 6 to 8 hours ahead of us.
That's about 10 o'clock over there.
Yeah. That man in the UK. Man say he need a little nightcap. I ain't mad at it. He said I was young, finally free, and realized I hate the feeling of being drunk. I seen the Moon say something I missed. He said I seen folks mixing Long Island iced tea with Hypnotic.
Oh yeah, my family do that. They call it a hoo-ha.
My homegirl was on put in her store the other day. Because I remember when we were young, she used to drink so much she smelled like alcohol 2-3 days after she drank. I already know, because when we used to go to the park, it used to be this old dude used to be hooping, and Salt would be coming. Nigga, like, what the? He said, nigga, like, that's that beer. Yeah. Oh, I ain't mad. He said he's celebrating the Shabbat. He want him a nightcap. So he said, you ain't going to shame him. Day of joy. Yeah, she was on there drinking some Alizé. She told me, y'all still drink Alizé? Because I do. You know, that was a drink back in the day. You want some Thug Passion? That's what you were drinking? Some Thug Passion? You know what that is, don't you? That ain't no weed.
It's sweet. Alizé, it tastes like
No, I said Thug Passion. Thug Passion is Hennessy and Alizé. She ain't want no cognac. Y'all was out here drinking Incredible Hulk, huh? Say we used to have this hood drink made with 40-ounce Old English and Red Irish Rose. Y'all was past hood. You drinking Red Irish Rose and OE? My God, today. That is wild. That is a combination I've never heard. Look at me talking about some Arbor Mist.
That's juice.
That juice, look at that. That sounds like a drunk. That's juice. What am I do with this? I could have had some Kool-Aid. My Lord. See, I said I can't do nothing with that. How am I gonna get drunk? That ain't gonna raise the hair on my chest.
Ain't even enough for a bun.
Look at you. Drunk. I'd have married an alcoholic. My God, today. Look at you. What you were using. Let me find out you was on drugs. Me? That's what a drunk is saying. Me? Come on, man. Yeah, that's what he made it about. It was about that drink. Because you know, when Pop was doing this thing, I was a teenager, so niggas around our way were definitely drinking Hennessy and Alizé because he talking about some Thug Passion. I'm like, yeah, I don't want none of that. Come on with it, good sir.
Verse 20 o'clock.
Yeah, finish that.
And having made shalom through the blood of his state, by him to reconcile all things unto himself by him, whether things in the earth or things in Shamayim.
See, now we're talking about, again, that reconciliation that we ended with last night. Come on back to 1 Corinthians 8. Eight and one more time.
Now, as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puff up, but love edifies.
If any man
think that he know anything,
he know nothing.
Yet as he ought to know.
If any man love Elohim,
the same is known of him.
If you love God, anybody gonna know it.
That's
you ain't got to tell nobody. It's gonna be evident. Continue.
As concerning, therefore, the eating of those things that are offered in sacrifice unto idols,
we know that an idol
is nothing in the world,
and that none other,
Elohim but one.
For though they are called
gods,
whether in heaven
or on earth, as there be gods many and lords many.
He said there's a lot of gods, and we talked about that. There are a lot of gods. But listen to what he says.
But to us, one Elohim.
He say, but to us it ain't but one God, the true God. Go ahead.
The Abba of whom all things, and we in him, and one Lord, Yahushua HaMashiach.
By whom
all things,
and we
by him.
Come on.
Howbeit not in every man that knowledge.
Hey, don't do it. I ain't asking no questions. Don't point at nobody. Take accountability for yourself. Read it again.
Say, howbeit not in every man that knowledge, for some with conscience of the idol unto this hour eat as
he say some with conscience of the idol unto this hour do what?
Eat as a thing offered unto an idol.
Their conscience being weak
is defiled.
But meat commend us
not to Elohim.
Neither if we eat
are we the better.
Neither if we eat not
are we the worse.
But take heed
lest any man by any means this liberty of yours become a stumbling block to them that are weak.
If any man see that you which
have knowledge sit at meat in the idol's temple.
Now pause. Look at what he said in the idol's where?
In the idol's temple.
In the idol's where?
Temple.
Not at your grandma's house.
Temple.
Not at your mama's house.
Idol's temple.
So that means you ain't supposed to be nowhere where you know these people worship an idol god and they fixing food. Don't let these jackasses tell you because you pulled up to your mama's house, that's an idol they doing. Now, would I pull up to my people's house for Thanksgiving or Christmas? I would not. Not because that I'm concerned with anything other than I don't fool with it. But also look what he said. Let somebody weak in the face see you and you take that freedom you got and you call them to stumble. Sometimes you can't be concerned with just you. Now, maybe you could pull up to your people's house and get you a Thanksgiving turkey and ain't nobody going to see you. That's between you and God. Because niggas be acting like they're going to see their people. You ain't going over there to see them niggas. You went over there for the stuffing. You wanted some pie. That's what you went over there for. Because I hate when I hear people say that somebody's house is not an idol's temple. That place ain't been sanctified for the worship of no idol god unless they build an altar in there. The same way when dudes say, I want to be the priest of my own home. Now, one time did Yahuwah say anybody was a priest of their own home? You the man of your house, dummy. Let me show you what I mean by that. Come to Deuteronomy 11. This goes to something I said last night. Deuteronomy 11, verse 18. Listen what he said.
Therefore shall you lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes.
And you shall
teach them your children.
Speaking of them,
when you sit in your house.
See, this is when Yahushua sitting in the temple, he teaching of it. And when else?
You walk by the way.
When he was walking through the streets with it.
When you lie down.
When he went to preach to the spirits in prison.
And when you rise
and
up.
When he resurrected from the dead.
You shall write them upon the doorposts of your house and upon your gates, that your days may be multiplied and the days of your children.
Now pause. All that's showing you supposed to teach your household anyway, because that's your law. That don't mean you the priest of your own house. That means that's the commandment he giving you if you've taken on the responsibility of having a family. That's just your job, cuz. That's just your job. Come on back to 1 Corinthians chapter 8, man. Read me verse 10 again.
For if any man see you which have knowledge sit at meat in the idol's temple, shall not the conscience of him which is weak be emboldened to eat those things which are offered to idols?
And through your knowledge
shall the weak brother perish, for whom a Mashiach died?
But when you
sin so against the brethren and wound their weak conscience, you sin against Mashiach.
That man say when you do something and you cause your brother to sin, you ain't just cause your brother to sin, you sinned against God also. Go ahead.
Wherefore, if meat make my brother to offend, I will eat no flesh while the world stand, lest I make my brother to offend.
So he's not talking about eating animals as forth as causing your brother. He said, if I got to go in this idolatrous temple and eat these people food and it's going to cause my brother to sin, then I ain't going to do it. That's it. Very simple. Very, very simple. What that was? Matthew 22. What, at 22 and 28? We'll rehash that. Johnny Cole? How he cold with them Wranglers on? Shoot. Because it looked like they you know. You took a shot. Shoot, you took you a shot to get in the pants. Oh, I've been picking on him about the pants since he came in here looking like a real Dallas Texan. I ain't got pants on, brother. I got on shorts.
They shorter than that.
No, that ain't gonna work. Well, you came in here with some doggone high-rise Wranglers on. And then came in here with they tighten the thigh and loosen the seat. My God, today.
I can tell you going in the 80s, but what man his head to at the side, everything. You don't keep on dressed like that.
You laughing too loud.
I mean, obviously.
You supposed to be laughing quietly.
This nigga talking about he in the 80s. You walk around here looking like you colorblind.
79.
I wasn't born in 1979. I was still swimming around my father's testicles in 1979. Yeah, it was.
You was on Mama Wood in 79. More than you.
Depends on what part of 79 you talking about. It wasn't that long. You know what I'm talking about? Well, what's your excuse? You from Harlem and you got on cowboy boot pants, man. You literally got Wranglers on in 2024. Them Wranglers for real? Oh, okay. I'm finna say. Levi's are acceptable. Wranglers, you have to get out the house.
Might be a Brett Favre fan.
You a fan of another man? You look at that man and clap and get giddy? You get like the ladies when they see Usher when you see Brett Favre? My God, today. No, I only mentioned Usher. I seen the video. The lady husband tried to give her a chair. She told that nigga, no. Usher say, ain't that your husband? She basically like, I want Usher to give me the chair. I'd have been divorced that night. You tell me you want another man to put some food in your mouth, you can stay with him. I'm talking about you funky hoe you. I've been taking care of you. You talking about, I want Usher to do it. Does Usher put up with you? That lady looked like she was built like a rusty bag of laundry. Does Usher live with this? No, I do.
He was with a plus size girl.
Yeah.
She said that's what Usher likes.
And it might be. And you can like it. You can like him at his house because he ain't coming back to mine. But I ain't never been one to want to go to no concert anyway. That nigga was going. He said, if you got a woman who go to a concert because she fantasizing about being with that man. I ain't never wanted to go. I ain't never wanted to pay money to see a nigga perform. I put the CD on. I don't want to see you, cuz. I don't. I really don't. Not to pay. To pay? Hell no. Go ahead, man. Matthew 22 and 22 or 28, whatever verse it is.
Sorry, 23. Said the same day came to him the Sadducees, which say there is no resurrection, and asked him, saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife and raise up seed unto his brother.
Raise up seed unto his brother.
Now there were with us 7 brethren, and the first, when he had married a wife, deceased, and having no issue, left his wife unto his brother. Likewise the second also, the third unto the 7th. And last of all, the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection,
whose wife is she?
Of the 7, for they all had her. Yahushua answered and said unto them, you do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of Elohim. For the resurrection, they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as the Malachim of Elohim and Shamayim. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have you not read that which was spoken unto you by Elohim, saying, I am the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Isaac, the Elohim of Jacob. Therefore, Elohim is not the Elohim of the dead,
but of the
living.
Let's go over here to Exodus 3 and 14, where this come from. After that, John 6 and 63. And after that, Ecclesiastes 8 and 1. I think I want verse 5 in Ecclesiastes, but we can read verse 1.
And Elohim said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, thus shall...
Hold on, tell him what I am that I am. What that mean? You know, you got a group of Israelites, they say that's his name, Ashaya, and then they get upset if you don't say that name. These people crazy.
That's how y'all to be, to become, to come to pass, to exist.
To exist, to come to pass, to be. He lets you know that he exists or that he is alive. When he said that I am, he lets you know that I am alive. You understand that's what he's saying? I am alive. No other God has that testimony. Go ahead.
Thus shall
Matter
you,
of fact, since I said that, come to 1 Samuel chapter 5. Let's take a look. But we talking about these fake gods out here, so let's clown on one. We like to clown on idol gods. 1 Samuel 5:1. We don't mind the clown on the idol god.
and the Philistines took the ark of Elohim and brought it from Ebenezer unto Ashdod. When the Philistines took the ark of Elohim, they brought it into the house of Dagon and set it by Dagon. And when
they said it by who?
By Dagon.
Tell them what Dagon means. Let me give you some background on Dagon once he give you this information.
Dagon, that means a fish.
This is the fish god.
The deity of fertility.
The deity of fertility. Dagon was an ancient Semitic god of fertility, agriculture, and the sea, and was worshipped in ancient Syria, Mesopotamia, and Canaan. Dagon was originally a Babylonian fertility god, and his earliest worship is recorded in the city-state of Mari around 2500 BCE. The name Dagon comes from the Semitic root Dagon, which means grain. The prefix Dag also means small fish. Dagon was a creator god, the lord of the land, and the god of prosperity. He was associated with the invention of the plow. Dagon was worshipped in many cities, including Tutul, Taraka, Mari, and Emar. He was also a major god of the Philistines who lived in Canaan from 1200 to 600 BCE. Dagon was often depicted as half man and half fish and associated with the symbolism of fishing. Dagon's female counterpart is the fish goddess Nanshe, and they were worshipped by the Assyrians in Nineveh. So when Jonah was brought to Nineveh by the great fish, the Ninevites were impressed and repented of their sins. Also, he was worshipped across Syria in the middle of the Euphrates. Primary temples are mentioned, as we mentioned before, Tutal and Turkai. He was regarded as the father of gods, similar to Mesopotamians Enlil and Qumrabi. Qumrabi or Qumari or Qummarma was a Hararian god, and he held a senior position in the Hararian pantheon and is described as the father of gods. He is portrayed as an old, deposed king of gods, though most likely did not reflect the factual loss of position of the head of the pantheon in the Hararian religion, but only a mythological narrative. It is often assumed that he was an agricultural deity, though this view is not universally accepted and the evidence is limited. He was also believed that he resided in the underworld. Now, a large number of theophoric names, both masculine and feminine, attest that he was a popular deity. Theophoric names is bearing or carrying a god. It embeds the word equivalent of God or God's name in a person, reflecting something about the character of the person, so named in relation to that deity. For example, names embedding Apollo, such as Apollonios or Apollodoros, existed in Greek antiquity. Theophoric personal names containing the name of a god in whose care the individual is entrusted were also exceedingly common in the ancient Near East and Mesopotamia. Now, it is also believed that many rulers regarded him as a god capable of granting them kingship over Western areas. Remember, in the Ugaritic script, he is El. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Ugarit. In Hurarian, he's Qumrabi, as we mentioned. In Mesopotamia, he is Enlil. And his child is Adad, or Baal in the Ugaritic culture. Adaptations of Dagon from coastal areas are much less frequent and come mostly from the northern city of Ugarit, where Dagon's cult had limited scope. According to the Hebrew Bible, Dagon was the national god of the Philistines with temples at Ashdod and Gaza, but there is no extra-biblical evidence confirming this. The extrasolar object designated as Formulat B is named after Dagon. So Ugarit is an ancient port city in northern Syria. Now, the Ugaritic text had a run with a lot of people talking about him, probably about a good, peace godmother, about a good 7-8 years ago, where dudes was really talking about that, but people don't really talk about it as much anymore. So we can talk about them at another time because they have some controversial texts in the eyes of some people. So go ahead and run that 1 Samuel 5:1 again.
And the Philistines took the ark of Elohim and brought it from Ebenezer unto Ashdod.
Mm-hmm.
When the Philistines took the ark of Elohim, they brought it into the house of Dagon and set it by Dagon.
Now, also too, right? And I'll say this here because Cap say this a lot. Just because, and he's right. Just because they haven't found like temples of Dagon, don't mean those temples existed. Every piece of archaeologically and ancient artifacts and temples, they're not guaranteed to find all these things. You know what I'm saying? Don't have the human arrogance to believe that everything can be found or will be found, because some things oh yeah, most definitely, Mama Steph, we definitely appreciate it. Doesn't mean that certain things are accurate, because there's certain things that are not biblical that are bear witness of that haven't been found, and then years later they find it and it confirms that these people's witness was accurate. You know what I'm talking about? Because a lot of times, I ain't gonna lie to you, a lot of times some things get found and they keep these things from the public eye. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm not just talking about biblical stuff either. So a lot of things these people find and keep from the public eye because they want you to have a particular perception of history. Remember, we talked about that when we were reading the Solid Weapons for Quiet Wars and the Elders of the Protocols of Zion. Absolutely, Quran. They don't want you to know real history, so certain things they will keep from the public eye. I ain't talking about this stuff about the Vatican got books locked away. I'm talking about there are certain things that they have found, artifacts, buildings, and things of this such that, like I said, they're going to control that outcome. They're going to control what they release to be able to influence the public to push the propaganda that they desire to push. If you don't realize that propaganda is a thing, you should have seen that after this previous election cycle. They literally paid Meg Thee Stallion $10 million to perform for this woman. $10 million. You know what I'm saying? For $10 million, if I were Meg Thee Stallion, I'd have got on stage and clapped my booty cheeks too. I said if I was her. You can say what you want to say. You can say, nah, bro, you won't. It ain't no amazing. If I'm her, I already get on stage and clap my booty cheeks for $20,000. A nigga offering $10 million check, that woman ain't gonna make $10 million in no year. Now for that short performance, I wouldn't give a damn. I ain't voting for this hoe. For sure, you can give me these $10 million, though. But they gave Beyonce 5 for 3 minutes worth of talking. Oh, the reverse. They gave Meg $5 million for clapping booty cheeks and Beyonce $10 million for a 3-minute conversation. I'd have came out there and talked for $10 million. What you want me to say? I think she might have got $1 million. They gave Oprah $1 million.
I ain't gonna lie, they said all those people that did that, they said they was on them tapes. So they had to go.
I don't know if they was on them tapes, but I know this here. As an entertainer, knowing that them people don't really make money like that no more. Eminem got $3 million. I told them, man, they said they had $1 billion and was $20 million in debt. Well, how you go through $1 billion from July to November is beyond me. I wouldn't have came out either. This nigga's out there, we ain't got paid. And then Donald Trump is the ultimate troll. He offered to pay the debt.
Well, he's not because his first election, he was like that.
See, he had a surplus. Go grab, get him 20, man. Wire it to him. He ain't got to drop it off. You know what I'm saying? Now, for real, all jokes aside, I'm talking about putting myself in these people's shoes, these senators. So as a senator, somebody offered me $10 million to promote a candidate. Well, shoot, what time you need me there? What time you need me there?
Oh, yeah, well,
Juvenile was out there with that COVID talking about vax that thing up. You know they paid this. You know they paid this. Nigga sitting there looking at his bank account. How much you say? $500,000. Shoot, vax that thing up. You know it's COVID out there. You better vax that thing up. Niggas, I'll write that in 5 minutes. Yeah, I ain't getting that type of bread. Ain't nobody dropping no $500,000 checks off to me. Shoot, vax it. Straight up. That's how it goes. For $10 million. Well, who gonna make $10 million for 3 minutes worth of work? Nigga, we talking about, man, them people rich, they don't need it. Shoot. She said, we ain't never too rich for $10 million. for 3 minutes, and 42 faked them out, made them think she was gonna perform. Oh no! One thing with campaign things, they got to show where all that money went. By law, they got to show where that money went. So y'all get to see how stupid she is. I'm burning through $1 billion, and I'm not saying that she the one spent it, but stupid in regards to the people who you had running your campaign. Yeah, not stupid as far as her lacking intelligence, because that junk's a little. When you running a political campaign, all jokes aside, you really gonna be leaning on your advisor, saying, "Yeah, do this. We gonna buy this. We gonna buy this. We gonna buy that." And you usually gonna be like, "Yeah, okay, cool." You know what I'm saying? Until it's over with, and now you step, they gonna blame you. But $5 million for Meg Thee Stallion is amazing, because who's buying Meg Thee Stallion albums? No. Shoot, the hoes ain't even buying. That means our whole country full of hoes. But one thing I've learned in my lifetime is, all jokes aside, you got a lot of women who want to be hoes. That's why they like her music, because it allows them to tap into their inner hoe. Because they wish that they could go out here and be a hoe and not be judged for it. Or I say about a good 60 to 65% of these women want to be hoes. I'm talking about out here half naked, popping and dropping, selling and telling. Yeah, a lot of these women want to be hoes. They don't want to be housewives. They don't want to be none of that. She want to be a prostitute. A prostitute. Any woman who is willing to exchange her vagina for monetary compensation is a prostitute. She may not want to hit the stroll. She might not want to work the blade. But she want to be a prostitute. She wants to be sexually unkempt for fees. It's the reality of life out here. See, Mama Steph, she's at a mature age in life. She's not around these young women, so she don't know. These young women want to be hoes. That's why they like that. That's why they like her. See, Glorilla's not a hoe. She want to pretend to be a hoe. Use a mullet mouth, your little poor hood girl. Now they done sent you out here and say go be a hoe. That's why they like Sexy Red. Sexy Red is a ratchet hood hoe. Every hood got a hoe like Sexy Red in it. Everyone. We could go in every side. We could go out east. We can go on the north. We can go on the south. We can go on the west. And we're going to find 15 hoes like Sexy Red. Easy. Within 10 minutes. I guarantee we go to Riga Gardens right now and find 10 Sexy Reds in the first lane. Meaning girls who her whole personality, her whole style, her whole thing. That's why because every hood got 15 of her. Everybody know a Sexy Red. If you live in them type of neighborhoods, you done met a Sexy Red. Some of y'all went to school with a Sexy Red. You worked with a Sexy Red. Say the flesh is strong in the female vessel, indeed. Yeah, a lot of them do, man. Because I'm saying that because in a lot of young women's mind, especially in this generation, they think being a hoe is more exciting than being a lady. So by the time they find out that being a hoe is not what they thought it was, they done ruin their life. Yeah. She said, I used to arrest young ladies with shorts so tight that you could see their baby cheeks. That's wild. Yeah, see all them cheeks, them booty cheeks. She said, but I thought it would help. But they would go right back out and do it again. Sure would. What Dino say, y'all here, I can see your birth canal. Counting down the minutes. Baby outside with pants so tight, she gonna have a yeast infection, have enough bread to feed the whole neighborhood. And that ain't got nothing to do with being disparaging of women. It's the society and the culture that we live in, to where being a hoe or being a lady, for a lot of young women, being a lady is just not appealing. They think hoes have fun. They literally believe from Instagram that hoes get chose and ladies don't. so they want to be hoes. Oh, see, I'm being honest with you. This is gonna be a harsh thing to say. If you a hoe, you can't be a lady.
But I know somebody trying to be married, want to be a lady, like she trying. But she,
Now, see, wanting to be married ain't got nothing to do with being a lady.
I'm saying she trying so hard.
She ain't.
Very
Listen, right? Listen. I'm not being funny. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. If you got that type of spirit and that type of mind, you'll never be a lady. Because the minute that something trigger you that you don't like, you're going to revert back to the hoe. The only way that you can become a lady is you would have to be born again through the word. That's the only way. Yeah, that's the only way. Because like Trick Daddy told you, man, she a hoe, but she can't help it because she don't know it. Yeah, like a lot of people, a lot of women think like, be a lady for what? They don't see any value in being honorable, to being classy, to being humble, to being demure, to being modest. They don't see any value in that. They think that means that you stupid, that you a pushover. That's what they equate being a lady to being. So they would rather be half naked, loud, and boisterous and cause years of mental and psychological damage to themselves. And then expect some man to come through and pick up the pieces. And that's just not reality. It's the same token, man. If a man doesn't mess around and let a man push his doggone freshly seal open, ain't no coming back for him. Only God can help him. No, I'm talking about only God can help him. That's the only person that can help. He can't do it on his own. He can't come back from that on his own.
Not on your own.
No, not on his own.
Can he come back?
Yeah, but they don't want to come back. Yeah, they got to be. I mean, a hoe can't come back. I mean, a hoe and a sissy is the same thing. They got to be born again. The Lord got to intercede. They can't do it by themselves. And the reason why I say that, I'm being dead serious, because you put somebody who had that type of mindset and had that type of life for a long period of time, when things don't go a certain type of way, they're going to revert back to that behavior. Because that's all they know, because intrinsically, that is who they are. Yeah, same thing with drugs. You're going to go back to who you are. When you don't know how to cope with things, you're just going to revert back to who you are intrinsically and continue to perform in that type of behavior. You know what I'm saying? So if you've been a person who has been loose with your loins, something don't go right, you figure I'm going to go lay with this man, or something don't go right, so I want to go drink, or I want to go get high. The minute something don't go the way you want it, your mind say, go be a hoe. Because that's what you've always been doing. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing that book tell you that with sin. If you don't get your mind renewed, you're going to go back to your flesh going to say go, and you're going to go do it. Yeah, see, the Lord got to intercede on that. Oh, I can see, yeah, they definitely too far gone. The Lord got to intercede. It's just that we don't like to say these things out loud because we want to be out. Look at, man, if she a hoe, man, she a hoe. If she a lady, she a lady. The problem is that dudes try to treat hoes like ladies and ladies like hoes. That's what dudes' problem is. Because they don't know the difference. The average dude don't know the difference between a hoe and a lady, and he don't know how to treat a lady when he get one. He want to treat her like a hoe. Then he want to get the hoe and he want to treat her like a lady, and he wonder why the hoe looking at him like you a buster. Because she's not a lady. So she don't know how to appreciate lady treatment. She think you a lame. Then you think if I treat the lady like a hoe, she gonna like that. And she like, man, I'm finna leave this nigga alone. And then these women be like, that's why ain't no men out here, they don't know how to treat nobody. Nah, because he don't know the difference between a hoe and a lady. He thought you was a hoe. He didn't realize you was a lady. Yeah, you got your clothes on and you don't like to go out and you don't post your booty on Instagram. He couldn't tell. That's a sad world we live in. Come on. Your mama got you some suspenders on. You a young old man. Yeah. Where you at with it, sir?
1 Samuel 5.
Come on with it. You can read verse 1 again.
Saying the Philistines took the ark of Elohim and brought it from Ebenezer unto Ashdod. When the Philistines took the ark of Elohim, they brought it into the house of Dagon and set it by Dagon. And when they of Ashdod arose early on the morrow, behold, Dagon fallen upon his face to the earth before the ark of Yahuwah.
Guess what he doing? Bowing down, giving obeisances.
And they took Dagon and set him in his place again. When they arose early on the morrow morning, behold, Dagon fallen upon his face to the ground before the ark of Yahuwah. And the head of Dagon and both the palms of his hands cut off from the threshold.
I appreciate that. We're going to read that right.
Only Dagon was left to him. Therefore, neither the priests of Dagon nor any that came into Dagon's house tread on the threshold of Dagon and Ashdod unto this day. But the hand of Yahuwah was heavy upon them of Ashdod.
So listen, right? Then, of course, you know, he came back in there. Dagon lost his head, lost his arms, lost his legs. And you know what the purpose that was showing? That God ain't alive. But hold on. Let me get straight to that point. Because we don't need to read everything. Go ahead.
Keep reading.
Yeah, let me make sure. No, you just read it. Read verse 4 again for me.
It's saying, when they arose early on the morrow morning, behold, Dagon fallen upon his face to the ground before the ark of Yahuwah, and the head of Dagon and both the palms of his hands cut off upon the threshold. Only Dagon was left to him.
Only the stump. Let's look at another one. What that is? 1 Kings 18? What it is? Let me see what verse. Muffin Man. Muffin Man. The man who muffin. Is that Muffin Neil? You ain't seen the picture? So that's Baby Neil. That page ain't in this book. Related to a couple. Oh, Jay said she related to a couple hoes. I hit 1 Samuel. I'm sorry. Give me 1 Kings 18 and 26. Yeah, like I said though, man, being a hoe is a mentality. Now some people become hoes through physical, emotional, and psychological and sexual violations. You know what I'm saying? That precipitated. Some are just hoes naturally. Some are hoes because their mom and their grandma were hoes or their aunties was hoes. And they taught them in the way of whoredom. Some girls became hoes because they were left to their own devices and they began a cycle of participating in destructive behavior. You know what I'm saying? It's always a whore origin story. Most women don't travel down that road. But and I'm saying this in reality on the reverse. The same way that some of these lame dudes look at drug dealers, thugs, and gangsters and wish they could be one, it's no different than some of these women who are not hoes, but they wish they could go out here and be one. They envy the freedom and power they think these individuals have in their life when they really have an extreme level of emotional instability and mental psychosis going on in their brain. Come on, 1 Kings 18 to 26.
And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed and called on the name of Baal from morning, evening until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us, but no voice, nor any that answered.
Ain't nobody answered.
And they leaped upon the altar which was made. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, Cry aloud. He is a god. Either he is talking or he is pursuing.
He talking or he running.
Or he is in a journey, or peradventure he sleep and must be awake.
We got to wake him up.
And they cried aloud and cut themselves after the manner with knives and lancets till the blood gushed out upon them.
My God, today.
And it came to pass when midday was past, they prophesied until the offering of sacrifice had neither voice nor any to answer, nor any that regarded.
Hold on, let's talk about Baal. You like the ball, don't you? You like the ball hard. Baal is a Canaanite Phoenician god of fertility, rain, and storms. Baal is a Semitic common noun that means lord or owner. That's why dudes get upset when you say lord. You calling on a false god when Baal in and of itself was a regular word in a Semitic language. You know, super stupid niggas is what you would want to call it. It was also used for the title for other deities and human rulers. That's why Yahuwah said you won't call me Baal-I anymore, but Ishi. Instead of calling me your ruler, you'll call me your husband. You know where that come from? Genesis 3:15. He'll rule over you, and your desire shall be to your husband. Instead of calling me your Lord, I'll just be your husband. A little bit more intimate dealings, if you would. Baal was one of the most important gods in the Canaanite pantheon. He was also known as the Lord of the rain and dew. In the Ugaritic and Hebrew, he is he who rides on the clouds. Of course, Baal is best known in the scriptures as the enemy of the Israelite cult of Yahweh. Baal was previously known as Hadad. That's why you see Baal Hadad in here from time to time. The Baal cycle is a group of stories about Baal defeating another god who wants to be the most powerful. Baal Haman was associated with the ram and was worshipped as the horn deity of Baal Karnaim. Zeus is the Greek equivalent of Baal. Oh, let me find that book. Mama Steph put the book Monotheism and Yahweh's Appropriation of Baal. From its use among people, it is applied to God scholars, associated the theonym with solar cults, and with a variety of unrelated patron deities. A tutelary deity is a spirit or guardian, patron, or protector of a particular place, geographic feature, person, lineage, nation, culture, or occupation. And there's the book. I'll put it in the group when I'm done. The etymology of tutelary expresses the concept of safety and thus guardianship. So when you see a and probably y'all no, it's all good. It's all good. Put it on the reading list. How many of y'all have ever heard the term patron saints? How many of y'all ever heard that before? A patron saint. A patron saint is a saint that is a protector of XYZ. So that's what a patron deity is. I just received. Baal, like I remember, right? Most of these gods are equated to certain cities. And then certain gods were said to be the protector of said cities. And that's why he called it the Yahweh cult, or that Yahweh is the protector or the patron deity of the Israelites. You got to understand something, right? You have to put yourself in ancient civilization. Those people did not care nor regard Yahuwah in any shape, form, or fashion. And they didn't look at anything that the Israelites had going on as something that was relative or pertinent to them. You know what I'm saying? Like dude said earlier today, you want to talk about Christians, but Christians is the reason why you have the Bible. Nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares that a group, because I'm looking at it from a cultural and historical point of view. Those people went about spreading the word in a much more organic fashion than how it is done now. Like I said last night, when Buddy was talking greasy about go on your platform, that's how I know that he called himself a teacher of the word, but you ain't got nobody you ministering to. You ain't got nobody's souls who you watching over. Because you said go get you a platform. You just a sucker nigga who want to get on the internet and espouse your ridiculousness all day and every day. Because this is what these men did. They either established assemblies or they went in assemblies that were already established and began to expound the testimony of Mashiach. And if those people converted, fine. And if not, they walked away. They went throughout cities, going from house to house, ministering the word. And then, like I said, they set up assemblies, and these people were over these assemblies. This is what they have done. Now, of course, you have modern times, you have the proliferation of technology. So therefore, through certain media platforms, you can reach a multitude of people. But what it's also allowed it to do is to take the word of Yahuwah and make it an entertainment complex. And that's why, buddy, you like this here, man. You can't make videos about other preachers and say you teach it. Boy, you trying to entertain. You know why? Because you're trying to get subscribers. and you trying to get likes and you trying to get views. And why are you trying to get subscribers and views, Civic? So you can get monetized. You know what I'm talking about? See, you know how we know these boys ain't doing it for no word? Because you always asking for people to like, comment, and subscribe. You know what I'm talking about? So that because you know why they want you to do that? Watch time. You need subscribers and you need watch time. Then they're asking you for donations. And then some of them have the nerve to create a Patreon and tell you subscribe to this Patreon so you can get exclusive content. So I got to pay you to get exclusive word? And the exclusive words you give me on Patreon is just as trash as the words you giving away for free? I got to pay to get the mystery of stupidity. My God, today. A lot of these boys, man, if they couldn't get no money from content about the word, they wouldn't make it. They wouldn't make it. Niggas be having 5-6 hour live streams, man. They ain't dropping no word in them live streams. They talking about people. Asking for super chats. Oh, there we go. Also, Baal in the Old Testament, the road of Baal in the Jewish salvation stories. Got their cash app floating at the bottom of the screen. Support the ministry. What ministry? Where the members at? Who you serving? Man, cutting on your laptop or cutting on the camera and cooking on your YouTube talking about go live. Boy, that ain't no ministering, boy. Use an entertainer. Boy, if you ain't really serving up straight unadulterated word, boy, you a pure unadulterated entertainer, man. How in the world are you a religious entertainer? My God, today. Come on, Sid. Where you at with
1 Kings 18.
I think we about finished with it. Go ahead.
In verse 30.
Go ahead.
And Elijah said unto all the people, come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him. And he repaired the altar of Yahuwah that was broken down.
That's cool. Mama says exactly why people are struggling for their souls. They struggling for attention. My God, today. Struggling for attention. That's somebody. Some of these dudes, I want to ask them, did your mama hug you? Ain't that what Nas said on Ether, man? Did they call you ugly? Did the kids pick on you? Did your shoes have holes in them? What's going on? Now, we went through that for you to see that Baal is not alive. Deuteronomy 5:26 and then John 6:63. After that, Deuteronomy 5:25. John 6:63. Deuteronomy 32:39. That is Deuteronomy 5:25, John 6:63. You can make it John 6:55, matter of fact. And Deuteronomy 32:39. This is Deuteronomy 5:25.
Now, therefore, why should we die? For this great fire will consume us if we hear the voice of Yahuwah or Elohim anymore. Then we shall die.
We're going to die.
For who of all flesh that have heard the voice of the living Elohim?
The living who?
The living Elohim.
This is the part that we want to establish. Matter of fact, now we read that part. Let us finish Exodus 3. Let us finish Exodus 3:14 again. We ain't finished that. Now, I didn't say those things to disparage anybody. Because, hey, if y'all want to watch people's stuff and they get paid from it, that's their business. Get your money, cuz. You got to deal with the Lord when you see it. But don't act like you a minister or you fulfilling God's will. Anybody who actually teaching the word, man, Yahuwah will commit people to your trust. He's shown you that on numerous occasions. You know the only people that they didn't have, out of all the job positions in the book, what's the only job position that people were not committed to their trust? You have apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, teachers. Out of those job positions, it's only one of them where they were not directly responsible for souls. Which one is it? Yes, it would be a prophet. Prophets did not minister in assemblies and were responsible for people's souls. Prophets did not watch for the souls of others. That's why when people turn around and say prophets taught, ought to kick you in your face. Deborah didn't teach anybody, just like Holder didn't teach anybody, just like Isaiah didn't teach anybody, just like Jeremiah didn't teach anybody. They prophesied. Miriam didn't teach anybody. They prophesied. Amos didn't teach anybody. They prophesied. If you don't know the difference between prophecy and teaching, you ain't got no business teaching the word in the first place. because they're two different things. Now, you can be a prophet and a teacher, but being a prophet don't make you a teacher. It's different job function. You know why? Because what the law say? If a prophet speaks something and it don't come to pass, he say what? Don't regard it. A teacher don't do that. Now he tell you that the men coming in and they unlearned. He say, I can't. The book is sealed. I'm not learned. So there's a difference in application and facilitation. Go ahead.
And Elohim said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, thus shall you say unto the children of Yasharal, I am have sent me unto you. And Elohim said moreover unto Moses, shall you say unto the children of Yasharal, Yahuwah Elohim your fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Isaac, and the Elohim of Jacob have sent me unto you. This my name forever, and this my memorial unto all generations.
He said he the Elohim of who?
Of Abraham.
And who?
Isaac.
And who?
And Jacob.
At this point, them men long gone. But he literally said he they God, though. Now, we've already established that he said he I am that I am. He said, I am alive. I exist. I am the living Elohim. See, before he told you he was Elohim, he told you I live. No other God under heaven has that testimony. Coming to John 6:55. Sean was in there too. Sean heard that roasting session.
Say, for my flesh is meat indeed, and my blood is drink indeed.
That's right.
He that eat my flesh and drink my blood dwell in me, and I in him.
That's right.
As the living Abba have sent me, and I live by the Abba, so he that eat me, even he shall live by me.
Mm-hmm.
This is that bread which came down from Shamayim, not as your fathers did eat manna and are dead.
And are dead.
He that eat of this bread shall live forever.
Live forever.
These things said he in the synagogue as he taught in Capernaum. Many therefore of his disciples, when they heard, said, this is a hard saying, who can hear it?
This is a hard saying, who can hear it?
When Yahushua knew in himself that his disciples murmured at it, he said unto them, do this offend you? And if you shall see the Son of Man ascend up where he was before.
You shall see the Son of Man ascend up where he was what?
Before.
Where he was what?
Before.
These people will tell you the man didn't pre-exist. How he going to ascend the way he was at before if he was in somebody's testicles? You know, a man told me there was an asinine question for me to ask. If you say this man didn't pre-exist, how did the Father know which article of semen to put in this man's testicles to ejaculate out of his body to impregnate this woman? Which one? How did he know that? How did he say it's going to be this piece of sperm? Like, it's serious. Like, some of these men don't even think before they speak. If Joseph is this man's father, how did he know to put this man in that semen that would impregnate her? That's a logical question. You know, we was having a conversation the other day, and my man's, you know, he always like to go to this verse in Luke 2, where he say, hey, if Mary didn't know who got her pregnant, why did she call Joseph his father in Luke 2? I say, but how are you going to overlook the fact that when the writer is Luke, and Luke, the writer, says Joseph and his mother. I say, why did the writer call him Joseph instead of just saying father and mother? Let me show you one time. He said that was wild. Oh man, that's regular grand rising activities. It don't get like that all the time, but every now and then it get a little loose. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you. If Mama Steph was there, it wouldn't have got that far. But since she wasn't, it got that far. And it was hilarious. Yes.
You saying for the people that say Yahushua didn't pre-exist, they believe that his chapter starts when he came through the womb?
Yes.
Okay.
Right here in Luke 2, right? In verse 43, it said, when they have fulfilled the days as they returned, the child Yahushua tarried behind in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother knew not of it. Now, why would he call the man Joseph and not just say his father and mother? This is what the writer wrote. So you have to look at that from the perspective of the writer. Why did the writer say that? Because he could have easily just said his parents. But he did not. He made an explicit reason to mention Joseph by name, to separate him from his mother. Some things you have to pay attention to. There's just certain stuff that people don't pay attention to. We were talking about that last night. I'm like, yeah, you just gonna skip that? Or the night before? I don't think it was last night. One of the days. Come on,
John 6:62.
go ahead.
Say, it is the Ruach that quicken, the flesh profit nothing. The words that I speak unto you are Ruach in our life.
They are what?
Ruach in our life.
The words that I what?
Speak unto you.
They are what?
Ruach in our life.
Deuteronomy 32 and 39.
See now that I, even I, am he, and no Elohim with me. I kill and I make alive.
I kill and I make alive.
I wound and I heal.
I wound and I heal.
Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
Can't nobody to come jump out of my hand.
For I lift up my hand and Shamayim and say, I live forever.
I live for what?
Forever.
For what?
Forever.
My God, today. Now, what does that mean? Because we're talking about the living God, right? So, and again, this is to show a delineation between him and other gods. Let's take a look at another Egyptian deity. We didn't get that one the other day. What, Exodus 9? The plague of hail and fire. Let me get that pulled up on what God that is. You can go ahead and read. Exodus 9 and 13.
And Yahuwah said unto Moses, rise up early in the morning and stand before Pharaoh and say unto him, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim of the Hebrews, let my people go that they may serve me. For all at this time send all my plagues upon your heart and upon your servants and upon your people, that you may know none like me in all the earth. For now I will stretch out my hand that I may smite you and your people with pestilence, and you shall be cut off from the earth. And in very deed for this cause have I raised you up, for to show you my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth.
My name might be declared through all the earth, baby.
As yet exalt you yourself against my people, that you will not let them go. Behold, tomorrow about this time I will cause it to rain, a very grievous hail, such as not have been in Egypt since the foundation thereof, even until now. Send therefore now and gather your cattle and all that you have in the field, every man and beast which shall be found in the field, and shall not be brought home. The hail shall come down upon them, and they shall die.
Mm-hmm.
He that feared the word of Yahuwah among the servants of Pharaoh made his servants and his cattle flee into the houses.
You see what he did? This person feared God. This Egyptian feared God, said, shoo, we out of here. See, that's somebody who believed. Go ahead.
He that regarded not the word of Yahuwah left his servants and his cattle in the field. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, stretch forth your hand toward Shamayim, that there may be
Hold on. Don't skip over that. No, I'm talking about, notice that he said, he that regarded not. Tell him what regarded means. This is verse 21, by the way.
That's soon, to put, place, set, appoint, to make, to set, direct, to direct toward, to station, to put, set in place, to make for, transform into the constitute, to set or make for a sign.
That's tough. That's super tough. Super tight. You know about that? You don't know about that. You know about that? You know about that? You know about that? Nah, you might know about that with them pants. I couldn't help it. It was that. But you know about that?
I know about that.
I'm not talking about that. You ain't never heard super tight? That's unfortunate. Don't nobody in here know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You know? What I'm talking about? No. No, man, it's Dom Perignon. It's supposed to bubble. It just be like that sometimes. You don't know about that?
Yes.
You don't know about front, back, and side to side? Yeah, that's somebody else's record. That's a UGK album, man. That's unfortunate. That's their second album, Super Tight. Yeah. Now they got me running from the feds. They don't do nothing for you. And now they got me running from the feds. But that's the name of the record. Super Tight. That's why I said that. I don't know if nobody used that in slang. You use that in slang? Come on.
And Yahuwah said unto Moses, stretch forth your hand toward Shamaim, that there may be hail in all the land of Egypt, upon man and upon beast, and upon every herb of the field throughout the land of Egypt. And Moses stretched forth his hand, his rod toward Shamaim, and Yahuwah sent thunder and hail, and the fire ran along upon the ground, and Yahuwah rained hail upon the land of Egypt. So there was hail and fire mingled with the hail, very grievous, such as there was none like it in all the land of Egypt since it became a nation.
And the hail
smote throughout all the land of Egypt, all that it was in the field, both man and beast, and the hail smote every herb of the field.
Only in the land.
And break every tree of the field. Only in the land of Goshen,
where
children of Yasharal, was there no hail.
And Pharaoh sent,
called for Moses and Aaron and said unto
I
them,
have sinned
this time.
He sounded like Jimmy Swagger. You know Jimmy Swagger, don't you? God damn it. Y'all don't know who Jimmy Swagger is? He just got back in the news. He admonished every black church in America, every black preacher, for supporting Kamala Harris. Had the nerve, the unmitigated gall, the caucasity to say you niggas don't work for God promoting this woman. We gonna listen to a nigga who got on TV, face red as a fresh apple, with fake tears coming down his eyes. I have sinned. Pull it up on YouTube. It's hilarious. I have sinned. Out here tricking. He didn't get caught with a side piece. He was out here with a prostitute. You a man of God and you out here with a prostitute? You could have got you a mistress like everybody else. That's what Jamal Bryant did. He got a whole podcast. How you a preacher with a podcast? Ain't talking about no word. He interviewing niggas. But what you expect from the man that took over from Eddie Long? He got ran out of Baltimore. They said, get your behind up out of here. We don't want you here. Yeah, Jamal Bryant wore. I don't think he'd have had Pat. That's probably why he's doing the podcast, because he probably got. No, he was, because he was in the pulpit preaching for this woman, telling these bold-faced lies. Yeah, I did see a clip of him preaching for Kamala, lying on God to do it. I don't even know how dudes come to do the work of God to promote a man. When I say man, I'm talking about man or woman for political office. You got to be something wrong with you. The Lord ought to strike you with some lightning. Stupid nigga, that ain't got nothing to do with me. For real. Strike them down. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I say that because whoever gets put in power, Yahuwah put him in power anyway. See, some people are upset because Kamala didn't win. That wasn't God's will for Kamala to win. Because he said, I set up kings and I put them down. So if he wanted her to be king over this particular province, then she would have been. You mad with God then, ho? Take it up with him. That's right. He tear him down. He set him up. So that means whatever he want to fulfill, he want to use Donald Trump to fulfill it. Because it's not about having a woman or a man in that position. It's the person that he wants to use to fulfill his will. That means he didn't want to use Kamala to fulfill his will, and whatever that may be for this particular province. We know what his will is. So I told the boy last night, he done put RFK Jr. as the head of the Secretary of Health, and they messing with them pharmaceutical companies. Oh, that man gonna die. Because these people's stocks done went down. Well, if their money go to getting short, bullets flying at that man. They done killed lesser people for less. See, people don't pay attention to that type of stuff because they have just a personal problem with this man when they really don't pay attention that he messing with the people that you cry about every day, unless you have been manipulated through propaganda and social engineering to actually love the people who are actually playing a major role in your oppression and fleecing. Because he messing with them people money. Yeah, he messing with them people money. Yeah. Yeah, he messing with the people money. And then he trying to do stuff to how the This is if it say you take it at face value of how the Constitution is set up, which is allowing, like I told you the other day, allowing the states to operate and run themselves. That messes with other people's money. See, if the federal government is not the Lord over every state and say, hey, if you don't do this, we won't give you money. Because that's what the Department of Transportation does. That's what the Department of Education does. If you don't do what we want you to do, we keep funding from you. This is what they do. Anybody who knows about this stuff, they know this. Because they put stories out about it. We'll hold back money from you. That's the way that they manipulate the curriculum. That's why they teaching your kids about trannies in certain states. Because if you don't do this, we ain't going to give you the bread, so the people capitulate and give them the bread. You know you work for them. These people probably do a lot of things they don't want to do, but if they don't do it, they don't get funded, so they do it. You think all these schools want to do all this goddamn testing? They do that testing because the people at the Department of Education say, this is what y'all got to do. And if you don't do it, you won't get no money. And guess what the schools do? They do it so they can get the money. When they should say, you know what? Keep your money. We'll do it in state. That's what Trump trying to do. Yeah, that's why you got all these charter schools, because they're not affiliated. They don't get federal funding. So they can do what they want. See, public schools are beholden to federal funding. So that means they're beholden to the Department of Education and their whims. So when he say, I want to get rid of it and give it to the states, he's fooling with somebody's money and power. That's going to be a problem. The average layperson don't know that. I would imagine the main part of the Department of Education that could probably stay is they're the ones that help facilitate student loans.
But they said the reason why they trying to cut that is because the building costs, what they call it, the real estate.
It's too expensive.
Yeah.
They rather have them niggas work, remote, or don't work there at all.
Yeah, because to keep those buildings in DC, they said it's like millions of dollars per year.
Yeah, and that's going to throw somebody money off if you close that building. Now I'm losing all my rental income.
But they said most people, there ain't a lot of people in the building.
I would believe it, because they probably working remote after the pandemic. A lot of people went, when they closed the country down and they left their office, a lot of people never went back. They stayed working at the house. They were like, y'all ain't got to come here. But see, people don't want to hear that. Just read a little bit. Stop listening to what them people telling you and actually know how the country that you dwell in, how it operates. Because what he talking about is how the country's supposed. Look at all the people. Why the people at the Food and Drug Administration quit? Because now you got to get out of these people's pockets. These people, look at, man, there are elements in food sold over here. Fat Boy sent me this video. I sent it to you. Where they showed the difference in the Philippine grocery store over here. This man showed a pack of Oreo cookies. None of the ingredients that are in the Oreos over here are in their cookies. Different. Everything, man. Yeah, and of course, I already know that.
Also, even down to the cereal.
Absolutely. Man, look here. Even down to the McDonald's.
Yeah, that's the McDonald's.
The McDonald's overseas ain't selling what they selling over here. They're not allowed to. So that means this Food and Drug Administration, of course, y'all already know this, are purposely selling and allowing poison to be sold. And then they want to focus on, he's putting the anti-vaxxer because he comes and telling people, nah, y'all can't put this in the food no more, do something else. Nah, you can't do this here. No, that's going to cause a problem because that's going to mess with somebody's money. What you laughing at?
She was looking at me while she was walking and she hit the wall.
That's stir the pot up. That gets you killed. You can't be telling me I can't put red number 40 in my cookies.
Well, yeah, that's why a lot of people, they complain about healthcare, but they're not going to stop that over here.
Yeah, then they complain about healthcare. Then he put somebody in there so that people can stop selling you poison, and you like he trying to destroy the country. What is wrong with you?
He said he's trying to make he was under that MKO too.
Man, that mean these niggas don't want to be healthy. You old fat funky bastard. You can't see your feet. You ain't seen your meat. Your kidneys bad. Your heart bad. Somebody come in and say, we're going to stop letting these people poison you. You cry about these people poisoning you. Somebody come in and say, I'm going to stop these people from poisoning you. And you say, he's trying to destroy us. Say, Lord, take me now. Just take me now. I don't want to be here with you niggas. Just get me out of here. That's crazy. And I don't even care about this man. But if that's literally what he's doing, how could you have a problem with that? Well, let's say not what he's doing. If that's what he desires to do. I can't have a problem with that. That ain't got nothing to do with Republican or Democrat. And you don't want me to eat poison? I can't have no issue with you. You want the states to be able to fund the schools properly without federal intervention and manipulation. How am I have a problem with that when I understand this is a constitutional republic? I can't have a problem with that because this ain't got nothing to do with how I feel about a candidate. That issue right there, I don't have a problem with that. It could be something, if Kamala would have said it, I ain't got no problem with that. Baby, I got a problem with letting a nigga in jail cut his wee-wee off and turn it into an innie. I have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if I had to pay taxes, but if you're gonna take my tax money for that, I won't file then. How about that? That's what people could do. I don't want my money to go to that. I ain't filing. You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple. Now the people are not gonna do that because that's how the country got started. They say no taxation without representation, did they not? And threw all the tea in the harbor. Now that story was exaggerated, but that's another tale for another day. That story was exaggerated. It went down, but not went down like that. It was greatly exaggerated. And it was a false flag to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's another conversation for another day. You know what I'm saying? I can't have a problem with that. I got a problem like this here, right? I know because some people look at it, you trying to put Christian beliefs on us. Hey, I don't agree with no woman getting no abortion. Am I finna be out here screaming and hollering about it? No.
So me and my sister was talking about that with the worship thing, and she was saying how they pretty much use that to trick everybody into thinking like, because of course, when you say abortion, people get upset. When you say medical abortion or you say somebody got raped, people gonna be like, well, and she was saying like in the medical profession, where it's known, then it's like a less than 2% chance.
Absolutely, it's minimal.
Yeah, she was like, even if you was to get raped, the chances of you to get raped and somebody like ejaculating and it happened to be when you fertile, she was like, it's less than 2% and it's less than 2% chance that you would need a medical abortion. But she was like, they didn't put that statistic, so of course they make it seem like everybody needs one.
Indeed, but that's my point of they're playing into the fact that the majority of women in this country want to be hoes. So when you hear that I can't do that, how you gonna tell me I can't be a hoe? You trying to kill us. Ain't nobody trying to kill you. You killed yourself a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? You killed yourself mentally and emotionally years ago, babe. You been dead. You know what I'm saying? It's just, man, y'all know this here, man. Because y'all girls, you were girls, you're women now. One thing you can't do with a woman is tell her what she can't do. Because the minute you tell her she can't do something, now she wants to do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. And that's really what it boiled down to. And they feel like, how are men trying to regulate our body? This is the part I look at it, right? Just general historical type of time. If you feel like men are trying to take away your rights, then do what every other civilization did and take it, ho. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit back and cry about what he's taking from you and how is he going to make this. Okay, you don't like the decisions. Get you some guns, get your army, and take it. Take the power from him and then say, nah, this is what we doing here now. Because if you ain't going to do that, man, shut up. I don't want to hear that. That's the same way when I hear niggas crying. These people, okay, get you some guns and overthrow them. Because if you're not going to do that, then I don't want to hear that, cuz. I don't want to hear about no men, women talking about men oppressing them. Man, a woman ain't been oppressed in the United States of America about 100 years. No, a good long time. I'm talking about real oppression. I'm not talking about you, somebody said something you don't like. Most of us have not seen oppression to be talking about you oppressed. Your great-grandparents were oppressed. You understand? Shoot. Axe Handle Saturday was numbered about 60 years ago.
No, you say great-grandparents. I think that depends on the grandparents.
Yeah, a lot of them were oppressed. I'm talking about in general, not specifically. Because remember, axe handle Saturday happened in Jacksonville in the 60s with niggas getting hit upside their head with axe handles for sitting at the Woolworths lunch table. That's oppression. You know what I'm talking about? That ain't, and most of us have never seen oppression. You may seen some accosting, but you ain't seen no oppression. Because if you seen oppression, you would be like your forefathers was doing in Egypt. You would be groaning by reason of the oppression. Do we live in a society that oppresses? Absolutely. But I think that oppression is more economical than anything, from what I can see. But it's easy to scream oppression. But any time a class of people was oppressed, they just overthrew them. So if you think as a woman that men are oppressing you, then overthrow them. That's amazing. And most people are not going to want to do that. So there's that. You know what I'm saying? But I said, when I walk around and be like, no, I want abortions to be illegal. It's not my country. It's not my land. That's not my fight. That's not my business. It's not. It's not. It's not my business. Those are sinner problems. Because anybody who would be going to get an abortion is a sinner. Them are sinner problems. I don't see saints going to get an abortion. You in the word getting an abortion, you a different type of evil. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, if you can say you serve God and then go have illicit sex and then go get an abortion, you're a different type of evil. I don't know what to say about that. So that's not something that would concern any of us. So that's not my business. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of, and then y'all heard about that 4B stuff? Yeah, they say for the next 4 years, they telling all women leave their husbands, don't entertain men, don't have sex with men. They cutting all their hair off. You know what I'm talking about? Every last one of these women were already celibate. Because wasn't nobody trying to have sex with them to begin with. It's always funny that it's the most highly unattractive women who push these type of things. These are vaginas on the market that don't nobody want anyway.
I call her KRS one with the big nose.
Oh, the Me Too lady. She's a feminist.
That nigga called her KRS one.
She looks like KRS. She ain't been in the music. I ain't seen her. She's quiet.
No, I'm just saying that though, right? There's literal women who've been told to divorce their husbands. One lady said, I'm not divorcing my husband. He take care of me.
I'm going to say, there's some black women that say, nah, so that ain't my fault.
Yeah, and these are white women mainly pushing this, and very unattractive black women.
They're trying to cut that, but when they come across a Korean thing, that was a real movement. They doing it because they mad. Yeah,
I seen that it came from Korea. I didn't look any further in it. You mad because you ain't get the president you wanted, so you like this here. It took Donald Trump getting elected for you to manage your vagina properly? Shoot, look at the Lord. That's why he won it. Look at the Lord, cleaning up the abominations in the earth, one election at a time. That's sad, though, if it take an election for you to manage your vagina properly. Then I just see women keep saying that. They be like, nobody cares. The men going to be mad now. No, we not. Because one thing for certain, two things for sure. If a man wanted to have sex that bad, there's prostitutes galore all across the world. They don't care about 4B, 2B, Plan B, or nothing. Do you got the bread? You know what I'm finna do. Dude, I was talking about go get your passport and go overseas. You tricking niggas. I ain't going overseas. Not because of that. Just because I ain't finna go y'all over there tricking. Looking for a mail order bride. Same TV, nigga. Come on, man. Niggas nasty. Where we at with?
Exodus 9 and 27.
Come on. Muffin? Yeah. Muffin? Yeah.
And Pharaoh sent and called for Moses and Aaron and said unto them, I have sinned this time. Yahuwah is righteous, and I and my people are wicked.
I and my people are who?
Are wicked.
Yes, you is. Come on.
Entreat Yahuwah, for it is enough, that there may be no more mighty thunderings and hail, and I will let you go, and you shall stay no longer. And Moses said unto him, as soon as I am gone out of this city, I will spread abroad my hands unto Yahuwah, and thunder shall cease. Neither shall there be any more hail, that you may know how the earth is Yahuwah's. But as for you and your servants, I know that you will not yet fear Yahuwah Elohim. And the flax and the barley was smitten for the barley and the ear, and the flax bold, but the wheat and the rye were not smitten, for they were not grown up. And Moses went out of the city from Pharaoh and spread abroad his hands unto Yahuwah, and the thunders and hail ceased, and the rain was not poured upon the earth. And when Pharaoh saw that the rain and hail and the thunders were ceased, he sinned yet more and hardened his heart, he and his servants.
As soon as he seen it stop, let's get back to sinning. Ain't that most people? Soon as the pain stopped, let's get back to sin.
And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, neither would he let the children of Yasharal go, as Yahuwah had spoken by Moses.
Now let's look at what God this is. This God is Nut. Everybody like a nut. No, his name is Nut. Her name is Nut. This is the goddess of the sky. Interestingly enough, the crops that were destroyed by the hail consisted of flax and barley, which were ripening in the fields. These two particular crops were not the mainstay of their diet, but were used more specifically for their clothing and libations. This destruction would make life uncomfortable, but as far as affecting their food supply, the wheat still survived. This gave the Egyptians another chance to turn to the one true God and forsake their own Egyptian god and goddesses, thus showing mercy and grace, his mercy and grace even yet. Ain't that something though? That he literally spared their food and cut the stuff out that they was wearing to sacrifice to their gods. See, people don't pay attention to how merciful Yahuwah is, even in the midst of wrath. Nut was the Egyptian goddess of the sky, stars, and the universe. She was often depicted as a woman with stars covering her body, especially her hands and feet, which were thought to represent the 4 cardinal points. Here, Nut was the daughter of Shu, the god of air, Tefnut, the goddess of water and fertility. She was married to Geb, the god of the earth. They had 4 children, Osiris, Isis, Set, and Nips. According to Egyptian mythology, Nut swallowed the sun each night, but gave birth to it again in the morning. God damn. Has he ever been to a time of swallowing? Nut sometimes took the form of a cow to carry the sun goddess Re across the sky, the sun god Re across the sky. Egyptians believed that Nut protected the souls of the dead who traveled through her body to the afterlife. Nut's body stretched from horizon to horizon, creating a cosmic pathway for the sun to travel through the heavens. Some researchers believe that the Milky Way highlighted Nut's divine presence. Again, the goddess of the sky, stars, cosmos, mothers, astronomy, the universe, and ancient Egyptian religion. She was seen as a star-covered nude woman arching over the earth, or as a cow. She was depicted as a water pot sign that identifies her. Again, her consort is Geb, who is her brother. That's also her sibling. Her parents are Shu and Tefnut. But that's the same with Osiris and Isis. They were siblings. And again, offspring, Osiris, Isis, Set, Neps, Horus the elder. In Greek, she is Uranus. Oh, the jokes are definitely. Listen, with Uranus, that's the personification of the sky and one of the Greek primordial deities. According to Hesiod, Uranus was the son and husband of Gaia, or the earth. Remember, anytime you hear Mother Earth, that's Gaia. That's a Greek goddess. Now you see that Gaia was married to Uranus. That was her son and her husband. Oh my God, she married a son. You talking about Mother Earth. Mother Earth is a freak, a common freak. Here it is, Gaia, the personification of the earth, the ancestral mother, sometimes parthenogenetic of all life. And that word is the natural form of asexual reproduction, in which the embryo develops directly from the egg without need of fertilization. So they believe Gaia could have babies. This is probably where the Egyptian dudes come in and say that the woman is the first creature because she can reproduce without a man, which means that you could say that man was created without God. She is the mother of Uranus, the sky, from whose sexual union she bore the Titans. So, of course, the Titans come from Uranus and his mama. The Titans are the parents of many Olympian gods, the Cyclops and the giants, as well as Pontus, from whose union she bore the primordial sea gods. Her equivalent in the Roman pantheon is Terra. And again, her consort, she had 3 men. So Gaia was getting piped down. She was free. Uranus, Pontus, and Tartarus. And she had the offspring of Uranus, Pontus, Hecon, the Cyclops, the Titans, the Gigantes, Nereus, Themos, Phorcys, Sato, Eurbia, Triaportes, and Typhoon. Like I said, we could go for days and days and days and days about these gods. You understand what I'm telling you? Okay, I'm going to send both of these books over. Emerson, Baal in the Old Testament and Monotheism. And she about to send the other one, the creation of the Titans of the gods. And Monotheism and Yahweh's appropriation of Baal. I'll give you some background information on that. Let me go back to that one. Let me go back up a little bit. We're finna get ready to wrap up. So again, according to Hesiod, Uranus was the son husband of Gaia, with whom he fathered the first generation of Titans. However, no cult addressed directly to Uranus survived in the classical times. Uranus does not appear among the usual themes of Greek painted pottery. Elemental earth, sky, and Styx might be joined, however, in solemn invocation of the Homeric epic. Uranus is associated with the Roman god Callias. You know, that's what they call the Minnesota female basketball team, the Styx. That's the goddess of the river and the underworld. Because remember, Minneapolis is the city of lakes. One thing for certain and 2 things for sure. They're going to slide their gods in there one way or another. Now, again, we talking about Nut. The pronunciation of the ancient Egypt is uncertain because vowels were long omitted from its writing. Although her name includes the unpronounced determinative hieroglyph for sky, her name Nut also itself means sky, usually transcribed as Nut, but also sometimes appears in older sources as Nunut, Nanette, Nuit, or Not. She also appears in hieroglyphic record by the number of epithets, not all of which are understood. Nut is the daughter of Shu and Tefnut. Her brother husband is Geb. She had 4 children, Osiris, Set, and Isis, and Nephis, to which is added Horus in the Greco-Egyptian version of the myth of Nut and Geb. She is considered one of the oldest deities of the ancient Egyptian pantheon, with her origin being found on the creation story of Heliopolis. She was originally the goddess of the nighttime sky, but eventually became referred to as simply the sky goddess. Her headdress was the hieroglyph of part of her name, a pot, which may symbolize the uterus. Mostly depicted in nude human form, Nut also was sometimes depicted in the form of a cow, whose great body formed the sky, the heavens, and a sycamore tree, or as a giant sow sucking many piglets, representing the stars. Some scholars suggested that the Egyptians may have seen the Milky Way as a celestial depiction of Nut. A sacred symbol of Nut was a ladder used by Osiris to enter her heavenly skies. God damn it. Sexual all the time. The ladder symbol was called Mayket and was placed in tombs to protect the deceased and to evoke in the aid of the deity of the dead. Nut and her brother Geb may be considered enigmas in the world of mythology, in direct contrast to most other mythologies, which usually developed a sky father associated with an earth mother or mother nature. She personified the sky and he the earth. Nut appeared in creation myth of Heliopolis, which involves several goddesses who played an important roles. Tephanet is a personification of moisture who mated with Shu, or the air, then gave birth to Sky as the goddess Nut, who mated with her brother Earth as Geb. For the union of Geb and Nut came, among others, the most popular of Egyptian goddesses, Isis, the mother of Horus, whose story is central to that of her brother husband, the resurrection god Osiris. Osiris is killed by his brother Set and scattered over the earth in 14 pieces, which Isis gathers up and puts back together. Now, this got the myth with Nut and the Ra, the sun god. I don't care to go through that right now. We're running pretty long. So, again, when you're looking at the living God, did we finish Johnson? We did. With just certain aspects, because there's more to add to that, of how he is the living God. And then we want to transition to what we were dealing with the apostles last night, with the reconciliation ministry, the faith in the Son of God, which gives eternal life, to show how the living God dwells in you and how he is the living God when he says he's not the God of the dead, but of the living. So hallelujah for Yahushua in the word. We'll stop right there. I appreciate y'all time this afternoon. We're about 2 hours and 40 minutes in, so that's good enough. Because he can't breathe over there. Y'all? Boy, you say you went out there, you won your game, boy? How you had time in the middle of the day to go out there and play ball in them biker shorts? I seen them biker shorts, cuz I was offended. Shoot, I couldn't tell it. They ain't biker shorts.
I tell you your front spots, and I don't want to tell that. Why you doing that?
Whoa. I ain't do anything to you, brother.
That ain't right.
It definitely ain't right.
Chili socks on.
These are baseball socks. I thought a nigga who knew baseball would know baseball socks when he seen them.
Chili socks.
Yeah, man, these is over the calf socks. Don't you play ball? Didn't you try to swing a bat? Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Hey, struck out every time. He loved to get 4 balls so he could get a pass, huh? But y'all we'll come back Wednesday, man, and continue down the road of making the delineation of with the living God. And we still got a few more Egyptian gods to deal with. We still got to still need to finish the Isaiah 40 through 55 and talk about Marduk from Succoth Benoth. So, yeah, we got a lot of information. I put these 3 new books that Emma just sent in the group chat. We just go from there. So I appreciate y'all. Mama Stephanie went Aramaic on us. But I know what it means. Saying Shabbat Shalom. We appreciate your assistance this afternoon. Shalom, Eric, man. So again, I appreciate y'all. I bless y'all the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua. I love y'all. Yahuwah willing, man. We'll be back at it on Wednesday. You're more than welcome. I appreciate them books. Let me get that over to everybody.